in the description below. So if you want to skip around for whatever wacky reason, you are more than welcome to do so. That being said, I'm not sure when Hahayeah, also known as Matt, is going to debate me on the Piegirl stuff. However, he is definitely going to in this live stream. Unfortunately, the last time I did a live stream was earlier today, and it crashed because of Restream. So I decided, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with Restream today. I'm literally just streaming on YouTube. Like, I barely get any viewers on Kick anyway, so it basically doesn't even matter. I mean, this isn't something that my Kick audience is going to care about anyway. Like, they're just there to goon mostly, so I guess there's that. And yeah, anyways, my goodness gracious, is this a weird way of starting a stream? Now, I actually have a very special guest on right now who isn't Hahayeah, but would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I am Piegirl, and I guess I'm on the stream. And I'm sure if you've watched the previous streams on this channel, you know a bit about me.
Indeed. What happened to the stream? Well, basically, long story short, Restream.io fucking sucks. And it decided to end the stream because my Wi-Fi stopped working for 2 nanoseconds. So, yeah, smash like if Restream is a poopy head. Because it is. It literally is. And fuck you, Restream. But yeah, anyways, I swear to God, Restream is probably about as infuriating as a voice meter, and whenever that doesn't work, I swear, that's the level of obnoxious we're talking about. So yeah, smash like. R.I.P. Kick. Yeah, I decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm not gonna bother streaming on Kick today. Because my Wi-Fi is so shit, it's like, I don't want it to automatically end. I'd rather just be able to, like, have, like, a, whatever, one single VOD, and then if there's, like, a cut, it is what it is, but, yeah. So, I guess the main thing that we were talking about in the, previous stream was arguments that Matt or Hahayeah will most likely bring up. So I guess one of the main things that he's definitely going to bring up is the accusation of John Swan doxing, where basically he portrays John Swan as looking out for Piegirl, but that's not really how it went at all. Apparently, Aiden Projects can back this up. I will be asking Aiden Projects about this, of course. And John Swan has also wanted to make a video about Piegirl for an extended period of time. But yeah, hello Robin, hello Cheetah Man, hello Batowcrafter, everyone that's watching this, smash like, because my Wi-Fi plus Restream basically screwed me over big time, which made me very, very sad. So, I mean, I know there's at least 5 people watching this. You better smash like. I'm just saying. Yeah, anyways. Fun fact, that's probably the best way of getting likes. Now, what a trilogy indeed. Or I guess it's a quadrilogy if you include the stream that I guess I unlisted. But yeah, no, it's mainly a trilogy. I also just got a DM.
This is part 2 of part 3.
Yeah, it's part 3's part 2, I guess. So I just got a DM from Hahayeah saying, give me like 15 minutes to sort everything out and I'll be on. So, I think, it's mainly going to be a debate of me versus him. If you want to be in the VC, to like bring up certain facts or details, you're more than welcome to do so. I don't want him to feel like he's getting 2v1'd or anything like that. So if he doesn't want that, I'll probably just be like, okay, we're just going to do a one-on-one. But yeah, I guess it'll depend on like how much of an urge you have to like correct him if he says something wrong or whatever. because I don't want him to feel like he's getting dogpiled. So yeah, anyways, let's see here. I've got an entire document for this debate, where it's everything I included in the one with Spinnling, and yeah. So you also wrote a somewhat lengthy message regarding the Spinnling debate with 3 bullet points. Do you want to read that out loud? Do you want me to read that out loud?
Sure, I'll read it. Even though these, I guess, they're not the most important things, they're just things I just noticed and decided to just say. One is that Spinnling claims I sexted Imaxstan. This isn't true. All I did was like flirt in group chats and in public like replies. 2, Spinnling claims I doubled down on the more turned on by the age gap thing in the podcast afterwards. I didn't. In the podcast, I literally said I didn't believe that. That was like literally only in that one like message thing to that girl that I said that, and I've always claimed after that I didn't actually mean that. And 3, Spinnling compares me saying Hahayeah looks at gay fairy porn to Hahayeah implying I'm a pedophile, despite Hahayeah seriously taking up most of his video with his implication. Well, I literally just made an offhand joke about it. Like I didn't use it as a point even or anything.
Yeah, I thought that the yeah, I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, yeah, that last point of Spinnling making that comparison, I thought was very flawed. I mean, first of all, it's an appeal to hypocrisy. Like, his proposition wasn't that you're a hypocrite. It was that Hahayeah's video is completely fine because there's nothing false in it.
Yes.
So
and I was going to say quickly, I was just going to say, I feel like Hahayeah will also make a similar sort of hypocrisy argument. He'll say that me implying John Swan doxed me in the end section of my video, even though I do say like I don't have any proof either way, not to harass anyone. He'll compare that to him implying I'm a pedophile. I'm pretty sure of that.
For sure. And this is why I've broken it into 2 propositions, because he definitely felt the need to say that your response video is like super dishonest or whatever. And yeah, so I've actually sort of accounted for that. And I point out the fact that at around the 58 minutes and 29 seconds mark, you include circumstantial evidence that could be used to reasonably conclude that John Swan doxed you. However, at 1 hour and 1 minute, you say that there is not enough evidence to prove that anyone did the dox. And you actually act as the bigger person in this situation by not accusing John Swan of doxing you with insufficient evidence / based purely on speculation, despite having every motive to do so. You actually held yourself to a higher standard than John Swan. So that's something I'm going to be giving you credit for, basically. As for
he'll probably say I implied it anyway.
Yeah. In which case, that would be him missing the point, right? Like, the whole point of you leading up to it with almost like an implication would be that, yeah, you can make an implication about somebody, but that doesn't mean that this is the conclusion you should come to. And if you're going to imply something or whatever, you need to have some sort of evidence to like come to a certain conclusion. Whereas what you've done is you almost I guess you could argue that, well, you know, similar to how I insinuated that Piegirl was a PDF file, she insinuated that John Swan doxed her based on this circumstantial evidence. In which case, I can simply respond with the counter argument of, well, but the point is that she flat out states that is a wrong conclusion to come to. That's the whole point. You can make someone look worse than they actually are. You can imply certain things, but that doesn't make it true. Like, that's the point that's being made, is that this isn't sufficient evidence, right? With that being said, I think that the other thing that he's going to bring up in the context of the whole doxing thing is well, she straight up says that John Swan doxed her earlier in the video when she brings up the like the thing where you're wearing your what was it, your school uniform or whatever. But that's like an entirely separate point, I think, because you're talking about like because you were talking about like an entirely separate dox, right? Like not just John Swan privately whatever saying your dox or whatever.
Yeah.
But more along the lines of like, oh, who leaked the dox, right? So there's like a distinction between the person that leaked the dox, which may or may not be John Swan. There's a good chance it's not, versus the initial John Swan in a private VC finding this information, right? So I think that that's like an important point that I'm going to make. I'm guessing that the other point that he's going to bring up, and you'll probably agree with this being something that he's going to say, is that you accuse John Swan of being heavily involved in the production of his video. He's going to say, oh, well, that's actually a lie. It was my idea. I'm the one that made the video. But I think that even if that's the case, like that doesn't change the fact that, like, based on circumstantial evidence, it's reasonable to conclude, due to similar situations that have occurred, that John Swan would have more of an influence on that video than he would be willing to let on.
And also that folder that John Swan did contribute to, where he was putting all these evidence in folders and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that like Hahayeah would have used information like from that folder and stuff, and from that folder, which means that John Swan would basically have been doing research for his video. Because I don't claim in the video that like John Swan like wrote the script for the video.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he disproved that specific point, but that's not something I actually accused him of.
Yeah,
I did say like he had influence over the video, and yeah.
I think that John Swan absolutely, like, beyond any reasonable doubt, at least had an influence on the video, right? Like, even if it was Hahayeah's idea to create the video and John Swan didn't even write the script, like, he still would have influenced Hahayeah by constantly talking about you, A-logging you, etc. So a lot of that is going to come from John Swan. Whether or not Matt is aware of that is an entirely different story, but, like, that is where it stems from. So,
and I would find it difficult to think he would think the video idea all by himself, because I mean John Swan had the exact same idea the year before, and even wanted to get some of his editors to make that video, and multiple people have like backed that up. So even if Hahayeah somehow came up with the exact same idea, it's like he would have heard of the idea and of his friends like sharing around this video idea. So
yeah, exactly.
like it wouldn't be like he just thought of it out of nowhere.
Yeah, like there's just too much circumstantial evidence to like pretend like it's not reasonable to conclude that John Swan at least had some sort of influence on the production of that video. I think that the claim he's going to make is, well, the only thing that John Swan did was the thumbnail, but I don't buy that. I think that John Swan had more of an influence than just making the thumbnail, right?
Yes.
Now what I'm interested in figuring out is I'm wondering if, because this is going to be a key factor in whether or not like the debate goes one way or another. So and you're actually the one that brought this to my attention. You didn't give the timestamp, but I ended up finding it. Where at in Wacky's Here's stream at 1 hour 24 minutes 42 seconds. Hahayeah admits his goal was to insinuate Piegirl is a PDF file, right? So that's his goal.
Yes.
So I'm wondering,
and he has like literally called me a pedophile before. So like I guess if he doesn't have concrete proof of that, then like that's wrong.
Yeah, like I'm interested to hear like does he still like stand by that? Like that being his goal, or is he going to be like, oh, I actually misspoke and this is out of context and this is actually how I feel and this was poorly articulated? Because it seems to be the case that based on what he's said in DMs, it's like his justification is, well, you see, I poorly articulated myself, and I think that's, I didn't intend on it being perceived this way type of thing. But like, I feel like if you admit that your intent was to insinuate that somebody's a PDF file, like I feel like that's sort of like a dead giveaway. Like that combined with the fact that throughout the entire video, like he insinuates that you're a PDF file. Also, your keyboard is really loud. Are you taking notes?
Sorry. What I'll do is I'll raise my sensitivity.
All right, yeah.
Can you hear it now?
No, I can't hear anything right now other than your voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So so I'm just so Hahayeah should call me at any moment. I just don't see any scenario in which John Swan had absolutely nothing to do with the video. I mean, there are literally screenshots of John Swan's Google Drive folders where it's just him basically fucking A-logging you. So, like...
Yes, and that was, like, in late February, and I think his video was made in mid-March, so that's, like, obviously very close in time to each other, and I would be highly doubtful that that wasn't even put there for the intention of the video to be made.
No, I absolutely agree. Not to mention the fact that, like, in the video, like, if we actually look at the folder, let me look for the timestamp. So that's gonna be at 50 minutes and 4 seconds. So, like, if we, hold on, like, if we look at, like, the names of the stuff that's, like, actually in the video, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on, I pressed the wrong button. 54, let me mute it. So if we look here, like, we have, Pieman's final response, something that was included in the video. We have, Satanic Cantifa, however you pronounce that. That was something in the video. You have, over here, the thumbnail PNG. So that's most likely the thumbnail, for the video that, Hahayeah was doing. So, like, he literally made the thumbnail. Matt admits that that John Swan made the thumbnail, on top of the fact that all of this other stuff was also on February 26th, along with the thumbnail, leads me to believe that John Swan was, like, the main source of this information, right? Like, if we look at this, Lucy response PDF, Pieman Twitlonger PDF, those were both in the video. Skipper, that was in the video. If you look here, iMalikStan.jpg, that's in the video. John's stream comments, that's absolutely in the video. PiemanPedo.png, not a pedo.png. Like, this is like this is definitely more than just a thumbnail, right? Like to say that it's just a thumbnail is straight up a lie, right? So I feel like that sort of proves that side of the argument, I guess. So yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. Actually, yeah, anyways. Where was I going with this? I need to go to the bathroom, so just keep my viewers entertained, I guess. Just say
Okay, I'll react to chat, whatever.
yeah, or just like talk about whatever you want, whether it be the
Sure,
situation or whatever. But yeah.
sure.
Get
So,
that dead air.
well, one thing I'm just talking to chat now. One thing I noticed in the conversation on Wacky Stream is that Hahayeah said I defended Vex, and that just isn't true. And then he said the title of my document about Vex was a defense of Vex. When later on I looked at the document and the actual title was an analysis of the Vex situation. So clearly, it's almost like in his mind he just changes things to make them look worse for me just because of his internal bias against me. Let's see. I haven't really streamed before. I haven't really gone on many streams. I'm not usually the best with this sort of stuff. Hi, Jalen. John Swan is the Jews of the commentary community. So true. So true. A live Femyoz reaction. Well, it'll be interesting to see Hahayeah debate this. I'm not sure if I'll end up actually debating Hahayeah. I'm considering it, but maybe not. I'm not sure. It might be a bit weird for me to actually debate him like this, but maybe just like the reason I'm considering it is just it's better than Hasan's streams. True, true. The reason I'm considering it is just because in case Hahayeah just like says something that isn't true, I can debunk that in real time rather than like
Okay.
DMing Femi or something. Ah,
All right.
hi again.
I'm back. And yeah, so it looks like Hahayeah is going to debate me soon. I notice his status is set to streaming. Apparently apparently he's streaming right now. So yeah, it looks like it's going to start in 3.5 minutes. Roughly. It's called Debating Femyoz on the Piegirl stuff. So that's pretty cool, I guess. And yeah. Uh-oh, it says thanks for tuning in. I guess the stream crashed or something.
Wait, your stream or his stream?
No, his stream. His stream.
Ah, okay. That's more right.
Mm. Oh wow. I think it's an interesting thumbnail. Feel like you did me dirty with the lighting, not gonna lie. Oh well. To be fair, I also did the same thing to him. Yeah. It's like an old photo of me as well. Before I was on HRT.
Well, I can relate to that.
Yeah. Have you even done... Okay, he's streaming again. Have you even, like, done a face reveal since coming out as trans?
Yes, although I guess like not really like in the commentary sphere because I've posted a couple selfies to like my other Twitter, but that's in like different communities, I guess.
Okay, because I've never seen you post transition. So I don't even know what you look like currently. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking that after the Hahayeah debate, if he wants to, maybe I could have him debate you and then like all moderate.
Maybe I don't know. I've always been not sure about debating him one on one. I don't know. I just feel like it could be kind of weird if it's like I'm the
Uh,
subject of his video and I'm debating. I don't know.
that's true. I mean, that's fair enough. If you don't want to or you're not comfortable, like you don't have to.
I don't know. I'll be fine.
But yeah, seems like he's currently typing, and yeah. Give me a few minutes to start my stream. And then let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna say ready whenever you are. So yeah, I'm ready whenever. So I guess I'm mainly just waiting on him. So yep. Anyways, let's see here. So yeah. I'm a little bit nervous because I've talked about a lot of this stuff in great detail. This is something I can't really mess up. If I mess it up, I'm going to be very sad and angry at myself. I'm hoping it'll be like a good faith discussion similar to what I had with Spinnling. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. I don't know. Like I've never debated Hahayeah, so I don't know what his rhetorical approach is if he has one. And it looks like he's calling me, so hello. Hi.
Right.
Greetings
Yeah.
and salutations.
It's good to speak to you.
Yeah, let me just turn you up a little bit.
Yeah,
All right.
I was just about to do the same thing.
Yeah, I think your audio should be good now. So, yeah, for those of you who are, in, Hahayeah's stream, or whatever, hello. Some of you may or may not know who I am, and, I'm basically just gonna be debating Hahayeah on the Piegirl stuff. So, yeah. So I've written down, your initial proposition, and I've broken it down into two propositions. So this is Hahayeah's initial proposition word for word that he wrote down. My proposition is that I believe the video is fine, however, very flawed. Most of my points I really didn't articulate what I meant as well as I could have done, and I'll probably be able to explain a bit better over voice during the debate. Overall, though, I think the video is important because it contains a lot of stuff about Piegirl that has been lost to time. Also, I think Piegirl's response video is very dishonest. So I've broken this down into two main propositions that we'll debate separately. So the first one is the video is fine despite being flawed and poorly articulated. My response to that is your video is not fine because it comes to conclusions that have insufficient evidence at best and are provably false at worst. Your video is harmful regardless of your intentions. And then the second proposition is Piegirl's response video is very dishonest. My second proposition is I have no reason to believe that Piegirl's video is dishonest. So I guess we'll start with the first proposition about your video being fine. So I guess I'll let you start.
Well, okay. So as I've said many times, there are a couple of things that are very poorly worded. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think there's one there was a joke I made that keeps coming up for some reason where I think I said a favorite website of theirs or something like that. I don't remember it verbatim. It was a joke about Piegirl using Kiwi Farms, and that spun into me saying they're a Kiwi Farms lover or something. And that was poorly worded. I think a lot of it comes down to I went into the video with like a comedic tone, like the rest of my videos, which probably wasn't a great idea. If I could go back, I would definitely made it a lot more like straightforward. But yeah, a lot of the video was perhaps maybe quite unfunny jokes that I left in. The Kiwi Farms thing, as I said, that keeps coming up. I think that's a good example. I'm trying to think of another one that I had.
Okay,
Sure,
yeah.
okay.
So, yeah. So it seems to be the case that, yeah, the Kiwi Farms thing, wasn't like the most important point. Like that was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
something that
cool,
I
cool.
had written down as like an example of something that I believed you had gotten wrong. But if that's a joke, okay, I guess. Like
Yeah,
that on its own wouldn't be enough for me to like talk about this. I have more of an issue with the insinuation that Piegirl is a PDF file.
Yeah.
It seems to be the case that you have admitted that was your goal, was to insinuate that Piegirl is a PDF file. Do you disagree with that?
I would say I disagree. I'd say God, it's hard to because I mean there's obviously like part of it that was I think because a lot of the age gap stuff I think well I'm sure we'll get onto the 15 and 12 stuff in a bit. To me that's really fucking dodgy. Where I come from, at least like that's like when I was 15, I mean I wouldn't have like been messaging a 13-year-old, sorry,
Okay,
let alone a
sure,
12-year-old, like that sort of thing.
sure.
I
So
shouldn't have, sorry, I shouldn't have insinuated she was a paedophile, and I think that was that's a very fair criticism against the video. I think it's very leaning towards claims that I can't really like a girl being a paedophile. I think a lot of the stuff, especially with the Lucy drama, though, shows there were the sort of almost predatory tendencies when she was sort of quote unquote using the nude she had of her friends. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a bit as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you acknowledge that you shouldn't have insinuated pedophilia. Now, in the
Yeah.
Wacky Is Here stream, at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 42 seconds, you admit that your goal was to insinuate Piegirl is a PDF file, right? So that is something
Yeah.
that you say in the Wacky Is Here stream. So that was your goal, right? So, so you now sort of agree that like you shouldn't have done that, right? But that was
Yeah.
your goal, right? So I think that that I'm glad that you've
I wouldn't-
conceded in
I
terms
wouldn't-
of
sorry. Okay, I just want to say that wasn't my main goal, but that was like a thing. I was like, yeah, Piegirl's a fucking pedo. I'm gonna say that in my video, and I think I shouldn't have done that.
okay. So I think that the issue is that pedo accusations
Yeah.
hold a lot of weight, right? So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you agree that you should not have insinuated pedophilia, right? But you did, right? You were clearly trying to paint the picture that she's a pedophile in the video, right? And you acknowledge that you can't back up these claims of pedophilia, right?
Well, I would say like I can't say she's a paedophile, but I can
Okay.
say she had sexually charged messages with a 12-year-old, and she was had
Hold on.
weird
When she had quote unquote sexually charged messages, she perceived it to be a 13-year-old, right? So that's a 2-year age gap, right?
But when,
So as soon as she found
okay.
out, as soon as she found out that she was 12, it seems to be the case that she immediately blocked her, but then was venting to a friend who she had trusted to not like leak DMs or whatever,
Right.
as a result of being sexually confused. and being like, why do I feel like I'm actually more attracted to her after finding this out? Which I think the most simple explanation, in like a psychological sense, is once you've formed like an attachment to somebody, like whether it be emotional, sexual, romantic, whatever. Once you realize that there's some sort of factor that gets in the way of that, right? Like there's some sort of factor that means, oh yeah, you can't really be friends. You start to miss that person, right? You feel more strongly temporarily. And that's why for a temporary period of time, after finding this information out, she found that she was more interested in this individual before quickly realizing that she was less, right? So it's going to be the case that intellectually she finds out that, okay, yeah, this person needs to be blocked, right? And so that's what she did, right? However, emotionally, like it's going to take her, a little bit of time for emotions to catch up. So do you sort of understand why that would be the case, right?
Yeah, it's just the message and the like the stuff afterwards on the Dramayoz podcast is just what almost sort of worries me a bit. It's just the I don't have the message off the top of my head, but it was
So I agree the message was bad, right?
yeah. I think it's just
as for what she said on the podcast, it seems to be the case that she's consistently said something similar to what I've just said, which is that she doesn't actually feel that way. She's not actually more attracted to this individual as a result of them being younger, right? It was just something they said when they were emotionally confused, right? Because they didn't know how to process that information because they're a child, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's not a message like you or I would send, is it?
Correct.
Like, let's be like that's
Sure.
a
Whether or not you would
say,
send that is not what ultimately determines whether or not it makes this person like a predator, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
but
if she was a predator, like do you think she would have blocked this individual right after finding out that they're younger? That doesn't sound very predatory. It's like the opposite.
There's a because I'm trying to think about a word this because as I said, I am a little bit intoxicated.
It's okay.
I'm trying to think. It's I think with a lot of. Are you familiar with the Cami drama?
Vaguely. Yeah.
So I'll give you the rundown. This might sound biased or whatever. I'll try and do it as like middle of the road as I can. Basically, Cami was messaging when he was 18. He was messaging a 15-year-old girl called Liz, right? He was sexting. He was sending like role play messages and chat. There was one time where allegedly the girl said this, that he sent a message saying like, "Do you want to see a picture of my cock?" And then he deleted it and said, "What the fuck? Why have I said that?" or something like that. It was very like sexual messages. He at some point he sort of like realized like, this is fucked up. Why am I doing this? And blocked her. And I think a similar thing with Piegirl happened, and I think it's that like, you know, when you've been making videos on like weirdos for so long, and you're like, this is, I'm not saying it's the same behavior, this is similar behavior that I'm doing. I still sort of feel this way, but like I should stop it for like optical reasons. That's how I read what went on. Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this seems like kind of a bit of a stretch, right? So, it's going to be the case that, I mean, again, I don't know too much about the Cami drama, so I'm not really going to comment on it. But in terms of, I guess, I mean, the first symmetry breaker between what you just described and the actual situation involving Piegirl is that Piegirl didn't do anything, right? So all she was doing was talking about her emotions to somebody that she trusted, right? Okay. So it's going to be the case that that's not really the same thing as like if she were to be like, "Oh, you're 12, even better," and then asking for nudes or something, right? Like I feel like that would be like a lot more, like there'd be more grounds for labeling her as predatory if that was the case, right?
It's just I think because I'm sure there's been like you know about this, but I just want to clarify. Like, I wasn't the first person to bring up like any of these claims. I was just
Sure,
a
but
lot of the video
that's
was
not
just
relevant, right?
regurgitating.
You could be the
I'm just saying.
500th
I'm just
person, right?
clarifying.
You could be the 500th person to
Yeah,
bring up the claims. That doesn't make them any more valid, right?
yeah.
So I think that
No. I'm just clarifying. Like, I didn't. This didn't come from me. This is like, this is stuff I was saying.
well, it's in your video though, right? So you're going to be
Yeah.
responsible for what you say in your video, right?
Okay. Sorry, what? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
What I was saying.
So you made the claim that Piegirl blocked her for optical reasons. I don't think that that's the case. If it was a matter of whether or not it's good optics, I don't think that she would have messaged this person saying, yeah, I think maybe what if I actually find this person more attractive after this? Like, I feel like if the goal was to have good optics, like that wouldn't have been said. She would have just blocked her and been like, oh, this is bad optics, right?
I think because there was some sort of like panic after the message. I'm gonna fucking quote this on my stream so I don't get like taken out of context. I'm more turned on by like being 12 or whatever. I think like that caught me and like the other people who were saying this before me up is the thing is I'm trying to say like it's just that message for some reason that turns me on more. Is just like the fucking strange part. Do you get
So
what?
I
Do you get what I'm
agree that
trying
it's
to-
cringe, but like again, it
I
could be the
don't
case.
think it's cringe. I think
Hold
it's
on.
fucking
Hold on,
strange.
it could be. Do
So-
you believe that it could be the case that that wasn't actually the reason that she was more turned on, and that maybe she felt, I don't know, some sort of emotion in relation to knowing that, oh, you know, I already have a connection with this person, but I can't have this connection that I care about with this individual. And it's not a matter of whether or not the person is younger. It's a matter of whether or not she can continue to be with this person, right? So if you break up with somebody or whatever, let's say, and after a relationship, you might find yourself being more strongly attached to that individual, right? So do you think it could be the case that she, being a dumb 15-year-old, conflated the two?
I mean, potentially. It's just, I think you're giving like not enough credit to like Piegirl. Like, I think she.
Hold on.
at
I
the
think
point of
I
being
absolutely
15
am.
No. So in the sense that like I think she had enough autonomy when she was 15 to like understand like being attracted, like understand the difference between being attracted to someone because they're younger than you initially expected and being more attracted to someone because like they're more likely to be like unavailable or something.
Hold on. She wasn't like a fully grown adult, or like she
Yeah,
was
but
15.
I
So you have to keep in
absolutely,
mind
but
that she was a 15-year-old child, right? So she's not going
yes,
to
but
fully
15
understand her own emotions, right? Like, I don't think it's fair to say that oh yeah, like she had this completely fully self-aware understanding and decided to, you know, say this anyway, because it's actually the case that she genuinely was more attracted as for the sole reason of this person being younger than she originally said she was, even though she goes on to block her because she's younger. Like, I feel like it's what you're describing is cognitive dissonance, where you have a 15-year-old child who still has this emotional attachment to somebody, who also knows that this person lied to her and that, okay, this relationship can't work most likely. And now she has cognitive dissonance because emotionally she still wants the relationship to work. And at the same time, she knows intellectually that it can't. So that's going to create a cognitive dissonance, right? So that's going to make her emotions stronger, right? Because of that cognitive dissonance, right? And you have to keep in mind that a 15-year-old, I mean, can a 15-year-old understand fully why it's wrong for a 15-year-old to date a 27-year-old? Because if that's the case, then what's the point of the age of consent laws, right? But it's because children can't consent and because children don't fully understand why that's wrong, that no, like, they're not going to be able to fully understand that, right? Like, you would agree that at the time, like, she wouldn't have been able to fully grasp why it would be wrong to date a 27-year-old, right?
Sure. Sure. That was a. I'm just trying to tie that in still, but I don't know, it's just. I think neither of us are gonna know like exactly what like was going through Piegirl's mind at the time, right?
Exactly. That's the point, though,
Is
is we
the
don't
point.
know, right? So we have to take the most charitable approach, right? So if we're dealing with accusations as severe as pedophilia ones, right? Like, we're obviously going to want to take the more charitable approach, right? I think that people are innocent until proven guilty, right? So
Right.
if you're trying to prove that somebody is guilty and that proof is entirely contingent upon assuming worst case scenario, then I feel like that's really flimsy evidence.
Well, that's exactly why that wasn't the only point. If I just made the video on that situation alone, that would be fair enough. But it was also the Lucy stuff that happened later. It was the Vex stuff that happened like in the middle. It's
Hold
just
on.
that
Let's
sort of
address one.
pattern.
Let's address one situation at a
Yeah,
time. So
of course. But
let's
I'm
talk about the
saying,
Lucy stuff. Let's talk about the Lucy stuff. Okay.
okay,
So for the Lucy stuff, right? What do you think? And now I know what you're probably gonna say, right? You're probably gonna
okay,
bring up, you the nudes of her friends that she accepted or whatever. Am I correct?
yeah,
Okay, yeah. So I agree that was wrong, and I also
mm,
agree, sorry, and Piegirl also agrees that was wrong. However,
yeah.
do you believe that it could be the case that a 15-year-old child isn't going to fully
I
understand
think she
the
was
gravity of the situation? Or
16 or
16,
17.
sorry.
So
She was
it's okay.
16, sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
16. Um, Again, 16-year-old is a child, right?
Yeah.
And you might not have the best judgment when you're a child, right? You would agree with
Mm,
that, right? Like,
yeah.
that's why the age of consent is 18 and not 16 or 17, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
so
it's 16 here, which I will say I disagree with.
yeah. So which is good. I'm glad you disagree with
Yeah,
it being that low,
I
right?
think it should be 18. Yeah.
Yeah. It should be 18 at the very least, right?
Yeah.
So it seems to be the case that Lucy is a very vile and manipulative
Oh,
individual,
absolutely. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would argue that Piegirl was one of Lucy's victims of manipulation.
Mm,
See, when you are emotionally attached to somebody, right? And I sort of touched on this in the Spinnling debate. You're
right.
not going to hold them to the same standard, right? You
Mm,
agree with that, right? Like,
yeah.
if you're a friend with somebody or whatever, right? So if a certain type of behavior is perpetuated by somebody that you already trust and are friends with, do you think it could be the case that you are more likely to excuse that type of behavior without realizing that it's wrong?
Yeah, but I think sure. It's been a while since I've like like made this video. It's been a while since I've really like fully thought about this. So I'm trying to delve back into my memory a bit.
Sure.
Uh, sorry, could you repeat that?
Um, yeah, so, hold on, let me think. What's the best way of putting it? So do you believe it could be the case that, because this is, like, if you trust somebody, right? And then
Mm,
that somebody engages in problematic behavior, that you're less likely to see that behavior as problematic on the basis of you trusting them and already having formed a connection with them, even though under most circumstances you would understand why that behavior is wrong. Do you agree with that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think it as well. Like, I think that the thing that caught me up quite a bit was the many chances Piegirl sort of took to report Lucy to the police. The thing about the blackmail, I think I remember something about you, like, I don't remember exactly what it was,
I
but
said
with,
something along the lines of, yeah, it makes sense that she would do what Lucy's telling her to if she's literally
yeah,
being blackmailed. Like like if you're being blackmailed by a pedophile, like you're the victim in that situation. Like,
Yeah, of course.
Like clearly and unambiguously. I don't know why you would use that as a point against Piegirl, but it seems like that's what you did.
What she was being blackmailed, and Lucy was like, delete this proof. There would be she could have backed the images up like several times on different things. There was no way for Lucy to really know that she had fully gotten rid of all of the proof. She could have had backups, and I think not if you. I believe that she genuinely wanted to expose Lucy, but I believe there was also like that combination of she was getting the news was fresh. She enjoyed talking to Lucy, and she enjoyed
you don't have any evidence that she enjoyed talking to Lucy as that was happening. And I see that Piegirl in chat just said, I already reported it to the police and warned Grayson before I just deleted stuff, by the way. The blackmail was to do with me considering not making a public Twitter post with it. So yeah, so essentially she had already sent the stuff to the police, right? So it seems to be the case that if you're being blackmailed to do something like that, that's fucking like being blackmailed is fucking terrifying, right? So you might not have like the most rational response. You might not think, oh, let me like make a copy of this and then like somewhere else where there's no way that it's gonna be found, right? Like you're just gonna like impulsively do whatever it is to make sure that you don't get blackmailed, right? Like I feel like that's like a reasonable thing to do, especially if you're a child.
Right. I think as well. I want to speak about that for a minute. If I recall correctly, the way it was presented in the Google Doc originally wasn't that at that point Piegirl had sent like the proof over to the FBI. It was that she was still collecting the evidence, and that was the reason she continued speaking to him. If that's not why
continued speaking, well, she continued speaking to him because he had blackmail on her.
Right.
As well, right? So originally she continued speaking to him because she wanted to gather evidence to send to the FBI. She continued speaking to him as well because of the fact that that he literally had blackmail on her and she didn't want to get fucking blackmailed, right? Like I feel like that's like a fairly reasonable thing to do, right? Now I want to get more specific in terms of I guess the pedophilia accusation aspect of it, I guess you could say. So I just want to like have like a clear answer to this. Do you or do you not genuinely believe that Piegirl is in fact a pedophile?
No, I don't believe that.
No, you don't. Okay. But you also agree that in your video, and you admit to this in a live stream, that your video was made with the intention of insinuating that she's a pedophile, correct? I mean, you've already agreed to this, right?
That was like...
That was at least one of your intentions, correct?
Yeah, it wasn't the main intention.
So, but it was your intention. So, if somebody watches a video in which you heavily insinuate that the person you're talking about is a pedophile, do you believe that that person watching the video is going to be more likely, less likely, or the same amount of likely to think that Piegirl is a pedophile after watching your video?
Yeah, it depends on what they know about her beforehand.
I'm talking about like just the average person going in with no knowledge of this subject. So if somebody who doesn't know anything about Piegirl stumbles across your video and watches it, your video that heavily insinuates that she's a pedophile, do you think that that viewer is going to be more likely, less likely, or the same amount of likely to, after watching the video, believe that Piegirl is a pedophile?
I think I believe she's a wrong'un, but I believe that like that is founded. I believe there's
no. I'm asking you: is it more likely, less likely, or the same amount of likely that they will specifically believe that she's a pedophile after watching your video?
If they didn't know jack shit, they probably believe she's like more likely to be a nunch.
Yeah, so you would agree then that the average person watching your video increases the chances of them believing that she's a pedophile, correct?
Probably.
Okay, so I'll take that as a yes, that it would increase the chances. Okay, now you've already agreed that she's not actually a pedophile. Now, do you believe that it is a good thing, a bad thing, or a neutral thing to increase the number of people that think a non-pedophile is a pedophile? So if somebody's not a pedophile, do you think it's good, bad, or neutral for there to be more people that think that they are a pedophile?
I'm gonna backtrack a bit because I don't think.
I think this is a very important line of questioning. So,
Okay.
do you think it's a good, a bad, or a neutral thing to increase the amount of people that think somebody who isn't a pedophile is a pedophile?
I think it's a bad thing for that to happen, but I think
Bad thing, right? It's
I
bad
did
to.
it. I did it by myself. I shouldn't have. I agree there was an insinuation, but I don't think it's as heavy as like it's being made out to be.
Hold on. It was absolutely heavy. I mean, we can look at what was being said in the video. So there was a very heavy insinuation that she was a pedophile, right? Like it's not just you laying out the facts, right? There's like a clear character assassination going on, right? Like I think that considering how many like it just seems like there's, I mean, if you want, I can go over some things you've said in your video.
Okay.
Yeah, so at 3 minutes and 15 seconds you say and these are direct quotes,
Yeah.
except I've replaced the name and the pronouns. So
Yep.
3 minutes and 15 seconds of your video. Piegirl and Alex started sexting through Twitter DMs. No evidence provided. At 6 minutes, at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm not going to insinuate Pieman is or was a pedophile, which you later go on to contradict.
Right.
6 minutes and 30 seconds, you say that Piegirl is incriminating herself, quote unquote. 7 minutes and 25 seconds, you sarcastically say, "Don't worry, guys. Piegirl is completely fine and should be welcomed, and will never show signs of these tendencies again," implying she should never be welcomed in the community ever again, and that what she did was unforgivable. At 7 minutes and 51 seconds, you say that Piegirl was completely in the wrong in this drama. Sorry, I don't know which drama that's in reference to. I probably shouldn't have read that. Let's see. That's the I guess that's about. So, in terms of the Vex stuff, at around the 21-minute mark, you dedicate an entire segment to accusing Vex of being a pedophile without showing any evidence. Now, the reason I bring this up isn't to say that Vex is or isn't a pedophile. It could be the case that this person is guilty, but if I'm critiquing your video, again, you didn't show evidence of this. At 21 minutes and 49 seconds, you say that Vex, who's 18, tried manipulating a 16-year-old into sending nudes with no evidence other than an out-of-context screenshot saying they wouldn't mind receiving nudes.
I think I will say the implication of that DM is quite clear there.
It's not
if
manipulation, right? Like, what's the context of this, right? So it could be like, I think it's very reasonable to assume that the context is that an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old in DMs, I mean, a 2-year age gap, that's acceptable, right? And they were flirting with each other. And while they were flirting with each other, one of the things that Vex said is, I can't say I'd mind receiving nudes. I'm just saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, right? In the context of flirting, I think that that's a stupid thing to say, but I don't think that means that Vex is a pedophile. It's a 2-year age gap, right?
But
and then you go on to say that Vex is not a pedophile by definition. However, Vex is definitely a groomer. And then you use this to incriminate Piegirl by saying Piegirl is defending someone who took advantage of people who are legally unable to consent. It's 16-18 relationship. Then at 24 minutes and 19 seconds, you say, Piegirl and her takes were defended with a bunch of people defending 18-14 relationships. You then fail to show that Piegirl was defending 18-14 relationships and instead opt out to use a random person in chat defending 18-14 relationships as evidence against Piegirl, as if this somehow single-handedly perfectly represents her position.
I will say, can I speak about that for a minute, sir?
Sure.
That wasn't, I worded that fucking terribly. That wasn't me trying to be like, yeah, this person agrees with Piegirl, so she agrees with that. I was trying to say, like, she wasn't alone with this line of thinking. There are other people with more extreme views. I worded it horribly, and I'll fully admit to that. I will put a timestamp in the comments of my video. That was
that's a good
really
start.
terrible moment.
So that's a good start. However, what I will say is that there's shit like this riddled throughout the entire video, right? The issue I have is that, let's say, like you can say, oh, well, I had the best of intentions, I just worded it really poorly. But if wording something really poorly leads to false pedo allegations being believed and levied, I think that's still a harm, right? So you could have like the best of intentions, but you still did something harmful, right? And as long as you can acknowledge that it's harmful and you know, take down the video, even if you just unlist it and put it in a playlist where the playlist title is "I disavow this" or some shit like that, like that'd be a great start, right? On fixing this, right? You at 25 minutes and 10 seconds, you say that Piegirl was exposing herself for engaging in similar behavior to Lucy, who is an actual PDF file that admitted to having CP of a 10-year-old. You assert that Piegirl's intentions were never really pure without having any evidence of this. You then go on to blame Piegirl for Lucy taking a joke seriously and actually wanting to grape a 14-year-old. You blame Piegirl for deleting oh, we already went over that. You did imply at 27 minutes and 41 seconds that Piegirl didn't actually intend on exposing Lucy. At 29 minutes and 39 seconds, you say that Piegirl would, quote, continue to implicate herself and engage in Lucy's behavior. And it, again, this is implying that she's engaging in pedophilic behavior. At 32 minutes and 34 seconds, quote, Piegirl was the one who put that 14-year-old in a dangerous situation in the first place, completely blaming Piegirl for Lucy wanting to grape a 14-year-old. 34 minutes and 19 seconds, accuses Piegirl of trying to implicate a list of people for having CP. Only evidence is a list of names Piegirl wrote in which she doesn't say anything about them having CP. At 36 minutes, flat. You invoke guilt by association, acting as if Mr. Girl defending Piegirl somehow makes Piegirl more in the wrong. So you can see why it's not just like one little flaw or like a too little, like it's in the entire video is just filled with bullshit, right? Not to mention the fact that it seems to be the case that Piegirl didn't even defend Vex. It was just an analysis of the Vex allegations. So
with the Vex stuff, it was again, I'll be honest, I should have probably not done this tonight. Not like,
look, I'm sure you had the best of intentions. You thought you were doing a good thing by releasing this video, right? But even if you just worded stuff poorly, right? There's a certain message you're sending, right? I don't know that it, like, as a regular viewer, I don't know you're joking about when you say the Kiwi Farms thing, right? I don't know that you had a completely different intention to say something completely different from what you actually said in the video with the Vex stuff, right? It's like if you accidentally say something completely different from what your intended message was throughout the entire video, like, yeah, there's going to be a problem with that, right? Like, after a certain point, like, you have to admit that, yeah, this video causes more harm than good, right?
Right. Look, the thing is, so I've just received word that allegedly, I don't have the proof of this. It might have been in the original document. Sorry, fucking lost my train of thought for a minute. It might have been in the original document she made about Lucy, but apparently she did engage like with with Lucy. So sorry if that's not what we're on for a minute. I just want to say that she did engage
What?
with Lucy. Apparently, she sent like the known pedophile who was like almost bragging about being a like pedo rapist, like pictures of kids and like stuff like that. She was
So what this is in
distributing
reference
the
to?
CP shit
So
like of news
I
about
know
that.
exactly what this is in reference to, and this is basically just this was once she was already gathering evidence for the FBI. So these were completely safe for work images. So she would send safe for work images of children, and getting younger and younger each time she sent it. And eventually she stopped at like 6, I think is what it said. And this was literally just to gather evidence of Lucy being a pedophile, right? So this wasn't like this wasn't her like engaging with Lucy in like for fun or whatever. This was literally just her gathering evidence to send to the FBI, right?
Okay, but apparently she was distributing the like nudes of her friends, which would have been distributing CP.
Okay, so that's an entirely separate point, right? So
Yeah,
if
but
we're
that's
talking about her, hold on. So if we're talking about her friends or whatever, so essentially Lucy was distributing the nudes of Piegirl's friends, right? Who were the same age as her, right? So now what Piegirl did was wrong, right? Like regardless of how old you are, right, and how old the nudes are that you're accepting, right? Accepting nudes without the consent of the person that took the nudes is wrong. Period. Right.
Yep.
So it's not
Yep.
a matter of whether or not like it's CP, right? Because it's the people that are the same age as Piegirl. So that's kind of irrelevant, right? What matters is that the people that sent those nudes did not consent to them being spread, right? So I agree that Piegirl was in the wrong for that. In fact, Piegirl also agrees. She felt fucking terrible about that.
Yeah.
She apologized for it, right? So I think that's like one of the things where it's like, okay, yeah, that was something that she did wrong. That's like the one thing she did wrong in the situation. Like in terms of like, okay, yeah, that's like a morally bad thing to do, right?
Mm. But the thing is, apparently she was distributing the nude images. Like that.
I don't
That
think there's
is
any
illegal.
evidence of that.
Okay.
Like you'd need to provide some sort of evidence, like saying, like I'm not just gonna take your word for it, right?
Yeah. I look. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. If there's a chance we could do this a different time when I'm a bit more sober, I'll get all the evidence. I've been out all night. I just got back in like right before I
That's
started.
okay.
I didn't have time.
I mean, I would
If
like
I,
to like get to a, like I'd like to get a little bit further, but yes, we can
yeah,
do like a part 2 to
but
this. But I
yeah,
just want to
absolutely.
like I just want to say, right? Like if you agree that she's not a pedophile, right? And you agree that your video
Yeah,
increases the chances of any random person watching to believe that she is, right? And you would agree that labeling somebody who isn't a pedophile as a pedophile is harmful, right? So can you agree
right.
that at least in some sense your video is harmful? That maybe even if your video has some good stuff in there, that like there's some harmful stuff as well. Can you at
Right.
least agree on
Look,
that?
yeah, I
Okay.
absolutely. I don't stand by the like nonce insinuation. I think that was stupid. I was 15 when I made that video.
Okay.
I didn't know what I
Good.
was
This is
scripting.
really good. This is really
But
good.
can
Okay.
I
Okay.
can I
Okay.
just say I believe overall I do think she is some sort of like sexual degenerate. Whether you agree with that or not, I think the internet has not been good to her after the 12 and 15 stuff. Like she wasn't the only person really like saying like, yeah, you shouldn't really do this was John. People were agreeing with him for a while, but as soon as
So
people like AugieRFC, WillyMacShow were agreeing, the popular consensus immediately turned to, yeah, she did nothing wrong. Which, whether you think it's that bad, whether you don't think it's as bad, there is something wrong with that. Like I'm sure you'll agree. The
yeah, sure.
popular
She wasn't
consensus,
perfect, right? But it's gonna be the case
absolutely not.
that false pedophilia accusations being spread is still like wrong, right? So do you think that
No, but I think
maybe what you could
overall,
do is like you could like unlist the video and then like post like a follow-up video just containing all of like the like maybe like a modified version of it, or like you know, have like the evidence somewhere where it's like accessible, just like the raw evidence, not your highly narrativized character assassination style video, right? Like, do you think that could be like a potential solution? Because you agree that your video, like in terms of like false pedo accusations, is harmful in that regard, right?
I think the video overall, the video is like, I think it's a good video. I don't think like you're gonna say it's not. I think the video has important information in it. I think it has like.
Hold on, wait. You don't have to remove this important information from the internet to remove the video. That's more harmful than beneficial, in my opinion.
I don't think it's
so
more,
so hold on. You can.
Opinion, I don't think it's
So
more
hold on.
harmful.
If there's important information, right, that isn't false pedophilia accusations, basically, you know, you can just archive that information somewhere, right? You can just archive it where it's easily accessible, whether it be on your channel, on Twitter, wherever, and you can remove the video that has false pedophilia accusations while still keeping the important stuff that isn't false on the internet for people to have access to, right? Like these aren't mutually exclusive, right?
Right.
I don't know. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do that.
I'm trying to think.
So
I don't think the main takeaway from the video would be that Piegirl is a paedophile. I think there might be some people who have their takeaway from it, but I don't.
I feel like that's like one of the main takeaways from it, right? Like if you heavily insinuate that somebody is a pedophile, like people are gonna believe that. Like people are gonna believe in your insinuation. Like when you insinuate something, if you insinuate that somebody is a pedophile, that's the conclusion you want people to draw from your video. So yeah, there are gonna be, so yeah, when people casually watch your video, like unless they're like hyper analytical like me, right? And they're like pausing every 5 seconds and analyzing it on a live stream, like unless they're doing that, like yeah, the main takeaway they're gonna get is yeah, this person's like a terrible like piece of shit pedophile that doesn't deserve any second chances, right? Like that's gonna be the conclusion they come to. Is it not? I feel like you could just archive the important information that you still stand by. I mean, you've already disavowed like the false pedo accusation stuff, right? So like I feel like you can just remove the video and then upload all of the raw evidence somewhere where people have easy access to it, and then just you know, there you go, problem solved, right?
I think, but the thing is, like, whether she's a paedophile or not, whether she's not a paedophile, what the video, I never, if I insinuate it or whatever, I never directly, specifically state she's not a paedophile in the video. The main takeaway was she's a fucking
actually
reckless...
you didn't state that. You said that you weren't going to call her a pedophile.
Yeah.
You didn't state the contrary, and then you insinuated it the entire time, right? So it would be like it's I'd say it's very analogous to say like let's say there's a Christian conservative who says, well, I don't hate gay people, but I think that gay sex is a sin and that you're going to hell and that's worshiping the devil, and I think that it's completely immoral and that you're a terrible person if you have gay sex. It's like you might preface it by saying you're not hateful towards gay people, but everything else you say leads to the complete opposite conclusion, right? So if people end up agreeing with the overall message that they're saying, they're going to end up hating gay people, right? So similarly, if you say, oh, I'm not going to say that she's a pedophile, but then you go on to constantly insinuate it. I mean, you didn't even say that she's not a pedophile. You just said, well, I'm not going to directly say it. And then you go on to insinuate it throughout the entire video. Similarly, people that end up agreeing with you by the end of the video are going to believe that she's a pedophile, right? So regardless of whether or not you directly say it. Like, that doesn't matter. What matters is the message you were sending. And the message you sent consistently throughout the video, which you admitted to, is that she is a pedophile. That is the message of your video. And that's what I have an issue with.
A reckless sexual deviant.
Okay, but that's not what you insinuated. You insinuated that she's a pedophile. No, that's not the message. You even acknowledged in a live stream that yes, you insinuated she's a pedophile. You don't get to retroactively decide that actually that's not even close to what the message was. That had nothing to do with the video. The video is actually just saying that she's a sexual deviant. Well, if that was the point, then why would you go on to say that you insinuated she's a pedophile? Even in this debate.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know why you insinuated she was a pedophile?
Oh, God, no, I don't.
Look, I don't have anything against you. I just think you should take down the video and, maybe make some sort of statement. Keep the evidence somewhere. If you want this evidence, like this, the actual evidence of stuff she actually did being out there, the raw evidence. Not highly narrativized bullshit that insinuates she's a pedophile, right? But the raw evidence. You can upload that separately, right? And then take down the video that insinuates she's a pedophile, that you acknowledge insinuates that she's a pedophile, where you also acknowledge that if somebody watches your video, they're more likely to believe that she's a pedophile.
Sorry, say that again. Sorry. Hello?
Hi. Yeah.
Sorry, could you say, I'm really sorry, could you say that again, please?
Yeah, so I think that you should just take down your video because ultimately, like, if you want to keep the evidence up, you can upload that separately, right? You can just upload the raw evidence somewhere and have that be publicly available while taking down the video in which you insinuate that she's a pedophile. I mean, you've agreed that anyone that stumbles across your video is way more likely to believe that she's a pedophile after watching it. You've acknowledged this, right? So that's something that's harmful, right? It's harmful to convince people that a non-pedophile is a pedophile.
I think like I just don't think that's the main takeaway of the video.
But it is. Like
I think
that is one of the main, like that is sure, there could be multiple takeaways. One being that she's a pedophile, the other being that she's far right or some shit because of the blackface thing, right? And the things she said. We're not going to get into that because whether it's so inconsequential in comparison, like whether or not she was actually an incel as like a 15-year-old before she grew out of it, or actually she was joking. I think it's irrelevant. I think what's relevant is that you spread false pedo accusations, right? And I think that's harmful.
I mean, overall, I put in my video the proof that she engaged with like in freaky conversations, like with several people, where she is displayed. I'm not calling her a pedophile. She's displayed Nazi behaviors, right?
See, but that's you insinuating that she's a pedophile without directly saying it. Oh yeah, no, she's not a pedophile. She just engages in pedophile behavior. It's like, well, what are you actually trying to say there? Oh, I'm not saying she's a pedophile. She just does pedophile stuff. You can see how somebody would ultimately conclude based on what you are saying, based on the message that you are sending, that she's a pedophile, right?
Not sure.
Yeah, so I just don't see how you don't understand why this is harmful.
Because I think what she did was bad and they should be known about.
Hold on, do you think that all bad things are the same? Do you think it's saying something, whatever, a 12-15 relationship or whatever, kind of cringe, right? Or sorry, 12-13 was the perceived age gap.
Yeah,
and
but
then
when she found out, but 15, 12.
Yeah, when she found out, and again, it's still two children in that situation, right?
Yeah.
So even if they continued the relationship, it's like what, a 3-year age gap. It's like, yeah, that's kind of cringe. I don't like that.
Even 15 and 13, that's two very different maturities. Like you can say 2-year age gap, but a 2-year
It's a
age gap
2-year.
between
That's what it is.
26-year-old
It's a
and
2-year
24.
age gap,
Yeah,
right?
a 2-year age gap between like a 30-year-old and a 28-year-old is really different to a fucking 15-year-old and a 13-year-old.
No, I
A
agree.
15-year-old has
So
such
I
a different
agree.
maturity level
I
to a
agree that
13-year-old.
it's that an age gap is going to be whether or not it's okay is going to be more contingent upon like the proportion of time that they've been alive for, right? Rather than like the actual number between the two. But again, I don't think that a 15-year-old e-dating, if you could even call it that, like again, I don't know what the extent of their e-relationship was. It just seems like they were flirting on Discord and that there was some sort of connection there. Like I don't think that that's like that big of a deal. It's like, yeah, when she was 15,
I think
she had a cringe e-relationship or whatever.
The words "turned on" imply sexual behaviors.
As in being turned on by somebody because they were constantly flirting and they had some sort of connection in that regard.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you were
yeah,
e-sexing.
sure. No, that doesn't necessarily mean they were
Yes, it does.
e-sexing, right? Like it could just it could literally just
sexual.
mean that they're flirting, and that they're like the flirtation, the flirtatious messages are sexual in nature, right? That's not the same thing as like sending nudes, which you
No, I
falsely
never fucking
accused.
said that.
Yes, you did actually.
When did I say what?
At
Did I say Piegirl sent
at
news
three
to?
at 3
know
minutes and
it's,
15 seconds in your video, you say, and I quote, "Piegirl and I'm Alex Stan started sexting through Twitter DMs." This didn't fucking happen, right? What do you think people are going?
When did I say shit about nudes?
When somebody says sexting, what do you think they mean by that?
Fucking sexually charged messages.
No, when somebody says sexting,
Yes.
the first thing I think of
Yes.
is sending nudes. That's what people think of when you say sexting, right?
That's
You did
not
not say
fucking true.
sexually charged messages. You said sexting. That implies
Yes,
that nudes
sexting.
were sent.
If you're fucking sexting, you're just sending like. Let's
No,
check
it
or whatever.
implies that nudes are sent.
It fucking doesn't.
Yes, it
What the fuck are you on
does.
about?
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
No,
fucking
I'm sorry,
does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it fucking does. Chat.
I think this
am
is
I?
what it boils down to. We
Chat.
have
When I
fucking-
say when I say the word sexting, or when anybody says the word sexting, what do you think they mean by that? Do you think, oh, just sending flirtatious messages, or do you think of sending nudes?
Fucking sexting isn't sending nudes.
What really? That's not what you think of when you think of the word sexting.
Yes, I don't think of sending nudes.
You
when
think
someone-
you just think of flirtatious messages.
I think of horny messages. Yeah.
You just think of horny message. I mean,
If
I
I
would just
meant
call that
sending nudes, I
flirting.
wouldn't
I
say
wouldn't
send-
call that sexting.
Well, he's fucking when it's on the internet. Yeah, sexting.
It usually includes lewd or nudes. Yeah. So I guess
No,
I mean we
fucking
can look up
it's fucking
sexting
sexual chats. If I said
definition
sexual images,
and examples.
you get a fucking dictionary
Uh,
definition of. So,
So yeah, it seems to be the case that the definition, the action or practice of sending sexually explicit photographs or messages via mobile. Okay, fair enough. I guess it could be sexually explicit messages.
yeah, that's what I meant when I said fucking sexting. That's what I mean whenever I say sexting. If I mean sending nudes, I'll say sending nudes.
Okay, fair enough. I assumed that the message I got from it was sending sexually explicit photos.
Okay, well, so that's where the issue comes in, because if you're assuming I'm meaning something, then that's where you're assuming I have fucking very bad.
No,
intentions.
I'll assume. I'll concede on that specific point. When you say sexting, you're just referring to like sexually charged messages. Okay, I mean, I guess usually when I think of sexting, I think of like sexual images being involved, but I guess technically
That's not what
that doesn't have to be the case.
Sexual texting. That's what it's a portmanteau of.
I guess. There could just be a difference in the way we use words.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
fair enough.
that would be the
Other
core
than
to
that
it.
though,
You're
like
assuming
everything
my
I've
words
said,
is something different to what I'm saying, and that's where
So,
the insinuation,
but everything-
heavy insinuation that
so
I've been-
everything I've said other than that still stands though, right? So, Like if we
Yeah, but I think that change if you fundamentally misunderstand a word I use throughout the video to mean something completely different than
hold
the
on, that was
insinuation.
just
Then
one
the
example I brought up, right? You acknowledged
yeah, but
that throughout the
it's
video
the
you
storyline throughout
insinuated
the
that she's a
video.
pedophile, right? So like I don't even know why you're like trying to debate that. Oh no, I wasn't insinuating. It's like you've already admitted to insinuating it, right? Like in this debate and in past live streams. So like I don't know
Yeah, but
why
the
you're
main
trying to like
alright, sure,
argue
but the
that you're
main
not.
takeaway isn't going to be she's a fucking sexual freak.
Okay. Do you think that the takeaway of somebody being a sexual freak and the takeaway that somebody is a pedophile are like, do you think these are like mutually exclusive, or if anything that they're actually complementary?
Are you fucking mutually like you could be a sexual freak and not be a nonce?
No, I'm asking you, are these mutually exclusive or complementary?
Can you fucking use smaller words, please?
So mutually exclusive would mean that it can only be one or the other. Complementary means that like for instance, if you are a like a sexual freak, you might be more likely to be a pedophile, or I guess the more logical way would be like if you're a pedophile, you are a sexual freak, right?
Okay,
Like
well, you might be more likely, but it's going to be nuanced, isn't it? Like
hold on,
everything's
wait.
gonna be
If somebody is a pedophile, do you think that they're also a sexual freak? I would hope that the answer would be yes, right?
yeah. But
Yeah.
that
Okay.
if
So
someone's a sexual freak
actually,
doesn't
so
mean they're a
saying
pedophile.
that the main takeaway would be that they're a sexual freak. I mean, that could be somebody's takeaway from the video, but that would also be somebody's takeaway from the video if they believe that the person is a pedophile, right? Because that would be like because if somebody's a pedophile, like they are a sexual freak. So it could be the case that let's say 75% of people that watch your video have the takeaway that she's a pedophile. Well, that proportion of people will also think that she's a sexual freak. And then there could be an additional 15% of people that think she's a sexual freak but don't think she's a pedophile, right? So you could then argue that the main takeaway is that she's a sexual freak. However, it's going to be the case that you still insinuated pedophilia and that the majority of people watching your video came to the conclusion based on your video and the things that you said in your video that she's a pedophile.
Uh, I think there's like I'm not gonna try and like use the sexting thing as like the fucking be all and end all, but I think
Hold on, we're not even
they.
talking about the sexting thing. We're talking about the
I
conclusions
know,
that
I know.
people come to watching your videos.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I think like there's gonna be a very clear difference like between how different people interpret things, especially if yeah, if you I think you said you watched my video initially in the background and then you came back to it after you watched Piegirl's video. I think there's gonna be the clear like there's gonna be a different interpretation if you've seen this video is wrong, this video is calling me this, that. There's going to be a different interpretation between different people, like how they interpret a message, how they interpret words.
Yeah, that's like saying that different people who read Mein Kampf are going to come to different conclusions, right? But like there's definitely going to be like a certain like direction ideologically that it's going to push people, right? Similarly, it might be the case that different people who watch your video, depending on how passively they're watching it, / how analytically they're watching it, and what their already existing predispositions are, right? Like, yeah, that might lead them to come to like somewhat different conclusions, right? But there's like a general direction that your video is pushing people, right? When you insinuate that somebody's a pedophile, that's the direction that you're pushing them, right?
I don't know.
You don't know? I mean, you already agreed that anybody that watches your video is more likely to believe that Piegirl is a pedophile, which just isn't true, right? Like, she's not a pedophile, but people that watch your video are more likely to believe that she is. That's where the harm is, right?
Probably, yeah.
Probably?
Look, I'll be honest. It's nearing 3 in the morning.
All right, we can continue this discussion at some other time.
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to.
No
duck the question.
worries. As long as you're willing to like Because I know there was like another proposition that you wanted to debate as well.
Yeah.
So we could finish this at some other point, and then
If that's all right with you, I realize I got a bit mad earlier. I'm sorry about that. I did want to
no
say
worries. I was also somewhat aggressive in this debate. It's it is what it is. I don't hold this like against you personally.
No, it's same to you. It's just
Yeah. Like
yeah.
you seem like a decent guy. I just think that you're wrong about this specific subject matter, I guess.
It's same to you.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible. Genuinely, I don't like. I have nothing against you. Like,
Yeah.
like. So I'm fucking really incoherent tonight.
It's okay.
Yeah, genuinely nothing against you.
Do you just want to end the call and then we can sort of like pick up where we left off like tomorrow or something?
If that's all right with you, then
Yeah, I'm
I
totally
might
cool
maybe
with that.
tomorrow because I do have college in the morning tomorrow.
All right, yeah. As long as you're willing to like
Absolutely, I
like come
don't
back
want
on
to
at some point.
because I think this is an important like conversation
Yeah.
to have.
Well, I mean, and keep in mind, like, I'd rather debate you when you're like in your like best mental state, right? Like, I don't want to like, I don't want you to like have your arguments like misrepresented or whatever, right? Like, I want you to be able to like
And
argue
I
your
appreciate
best.
that. A lot of people
Yeah.
wouldn't even say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm glad we've had this conversation. Though. I'm hoping we can like fully put it to bed at some point. Though.
all right, bet. All right, have a good one.
You too. You too.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
See you later.
Okay, I have mixed feelings, chat. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't as good as the Spinnling debate. I don't know. I found myself getting a little bit annoyed. Was the age gap 2 or 3 years? So it was perceived to be 2 years, but then it turns out that it was 3 years. So it turns out that she was 12 instead of 13. And this was when Piegirl was 15. So yeah, yeah, I don't know how I did in this debate, to be honest. I feel like we were kind of talking past each other. I don't know. I feel like there wasn't as much to engage with, right? Because, like, he was clearly like, you did good, things just got circular. Yeah, I think that one of the issues was, like, I would make a point, and then, like, I'd get him to agree to, like, a certain premise, but then later on, like, I'd bring up this, like, he'd contradict the premise he already agreed to, and then I'd have to, like, go back to that premise, and that was, like, really frustrating. Is the debate over? Yeah, it's over, as Demigloom states. It got repetitive near the end, but you did fine. Yeah, I just wish that, like, I could have done a better job at, like, it not letting it get repetitive. Like, I tried, like, it seemed like a lot of the time he was veering off topic a little bit. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, nothing against him. I just, yeah, I don't know. That was, like, a little bit frustrating. That's part of why I ultimately decided it'd be best to continue the debate later. I mean, for multiple reasons, right? So, one reason, I already stated this, is it's going to be the fact that, like, I want him to, like, be able to, like, put his best arguments forward, I guess, right? The other reason is, I guess I want, like, I want, like, a better discussion that's not, like, circular, right? Like, if he's not able to, like, fully engage with what I'm saying, then we just end up talking past each other and going in circles. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something really frustrating about, like, getting him to, like, to agree to a certain premise, and then, like, later on, he just completely forgets about it. So that was, like, a little bit frustrating. He's probably just extra defensive because it's his video. Well, it's not just that he's defensive. It's just that, like, he would agree to a certain premise, but then he'd sort of like forget that he already agreed to it and then act as if he didn't agree to it. That to me, that was like a little bit frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. I think that the debate with Spinnling was a lot more efficient. I don't know if it's because I did better in the Spinnling debate or if it's because Spinnling engaged with my arguments more, or maybe it was both. But I feel like I did a lot better in the Spinnling debate. Like the Spinnling debate was so good. Like that went so smoothly. Whereas this was like a bit more I don't know, I felt like I had to be more debate brained, because if I didn't, like he would sort of like veer off topic or like get away from like the original proposition he agreed to. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Smash like if you enjoy debates, I guess. Or if you think I won the debate, smash like. If you thought I lost the debate, smash dislike. I might end up getting dislikes from his audience anyway, who knows. Yeah, anyways. Where was I going with this? Yeah, but no, I could see him being defensive as like a result of whatever the I guess the fucking whatchamacallit, the fact that it's his video. Is there anything I could have done to make that debate better? Because like I'm trying to like have like a good faith debate arc again, but like at the same time I don't want to like not hold people accountable for the things that they say, right? Like I wasn't too aggressive, was I? Like I think I did like I definitely needed to be more aggressive than I was in the debate with Spinnling. Like I don't know. But yeah. I wonder what his ultimate conclusion from debating me is. Hold on.
Have a good one. Like,
what does he say?
Yeah. So that was a debate. I'm hoping we can.
Hold on. Like best mental state, right? Like I don't want to like.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
All right. Thanks. You too.
See you later.
Bye.
All right. So that was a debate. I've said it multiple times. It's really fucking embarrassing. I'm so drunk, guys. I drink alcohol, guys. I'm so cool. There's like one fucker watching this right now. I think I'm gonna head to bed because it's just gone free. But you know what? There was an interesting debate. I think with the Piegirl shit, I'm pretty stuck in my ways. Because I think there's an idea that I researched that for ages when I was making that video. There were multiple times where I was like, should I make this video? Then I was like, there's not really enough to be like, yeah, she's terrible for this. And then the Lucy stuff dropped, and then the Mr. Girl stuff dropped, and I was like,
the Mr. Girl stuff, I mean, really? Like, what does the Mr. Girl stuff have to do with anything Piegirl said or did, right? Again, this is just guilt by association, which is kind of like a logical fallacy, right? Like arguing that somebody is a worse person based on like somebody else's defense of them, right? Like it could be the case that Hitler defended drinking water, right, and cared about staying hydrated. I'm not saying he did. I'm sort of just like making this up, right? But that doesn't mean that drinking water suddenly becomes less defensible just because Hitler said it was good, right? Like that's not really how it works, I guess.
this is bad. With the Mr. Girl stuff, I probably should have said this at the time, but Femyoz was cutting me off a little bit. The Mr. Girl stuff, a lot of the like quote unquote guilt by association stuff was more like, I guess it is guilt by association, but when someone like
I mean, it literally is, right?
fucking Mr. Girl, if you see my Mr. Girl video, you know, someone like Mr. Girl is agreeing with you.
No, that doesn't mean shit. Like, Hitler could agree with the proposition that drinking water is good for staying hydrated. That doesn't make it any less true, right? Like, you're just like, this is a logical fallacy, right?
Someone like Mr. Girl's like, I want to hear this person out. Like,
that doesn't mean
I
anything.
understand like what's going on there.
No, that doesn't mean anything. Like, just because Mr. Girl is a fucking weird degenerate loser doesn't automatically mean that if he platforms somebody that somebody must automatically be in the wrong. Like, this doesn't mean shit, right? Like, it is by definition guilt by association, right? And from Piegirl's perspective, it's like, okay, well, Mr. Girl has a bigger platform than me, so, well, yeah, obviously I'm gonna go on his show. So, like, why the fuck wouldn't I, right? Like, that doesn't mean that she endorses everything Mr. Girl has ever said.
I'm gonna stop talking before I say something I regret. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you next time. I'm making some videos. I'm waiting on some shit. But, you know, thumbnails are done.
Hopefully you do more research than you did with the Piegirl video, right?
Video topics.
Or I guess do a better job at not making false accusations. I mean, I guess maybe he did all the research he needed to, but he made a bad video out of good research, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say the research was good or not. Again, I don't know too much about what he does behind the scenes, but what I do know is that the end result was something that caused more harm than good.
Ready? I've got a video like at least halfway done. Yeah, have a good one. Have a good one.
All right, and that appears to be the end of his stream. So interesting. So anyways, again, nothing against this dude. Just think I think he just needs to take down his video on Piegirl. And then yeah. I think we could get there at some point, maybe. Again, he is like a little drunk, I think. I think he like drank a little bit beforehand. So, based on what he's said. And, yeah, I think that if he's in a better mental state next time, I think we might be able to have more of a less frustrating, more productive discussion, I guess. So yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think over there, over in the world of chat? What do you guys think? You guys think I did good, bad? I think I did okay. I guess I need to go to the bathroom, so I guess the next video, or I guess the first video of this stream, because I guess we haven't watched anything. I guess we're gonna be watching Doc on the Radio's video called The Piegirl Nuke, Kwanzaa Edition, #Spurgler. I guess it's a past live stream, so I've seen this. I also needed to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to be pulling us on, but don't you worry. I will make up for it by rambling on for another 5 trillion hours when I come back about whatever gets played. So, yeah. Be right back.
How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, on this fine Monday afternoon? Happy Kwanzaa to those people celebrating. We had our rendition of Spurgler where we were talking about Piegirl and the gay ops, okay? It's not what it seems, chat. The Blair TV stuff is not what it seems, and we're going to be talking about that today. But the songs I just played were Down with the Sickness by Disturbed, and then the other song I played was by a guy named Miller. He only has like 14 subscribers, but his name's Miller. He made the Harambe It's Kwanzaa hip-hop song. That's what he made. So big shout out to him. And then, yeah, also big shout out to Cammy for being the first one to expose Piegirl for gay-opping Blair TV, and we're going to get into that today, chat. So join me in the live chat. Also, by the way, hello. Hope everyone's having a good day. Izzy Tan is joining me. Taps and Tomato Man are joining me on the live call today. Let's go ahead and undeafen. Hey, everyone.
Yeah,
I'm
that
live.
is
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh, hey.
Hey,
We were
Mabuda,
just talking
kapita,
about calling people
tequila.
slurs. What's going on, Doc? How are you doing?
I'm doing well,
I'm
we were discussing this conspiracy theory, okay, after Cammy posted his tweet in the chat, and it definitely had a lot of merit to it, but I wasn't 100% sure until Piegirl came out with their statement and admitted to being the Shala account, the same account that allegedly was sexting or was DMing with Blair.
Oh.
It was something weird. We're gonna go ahead and get into that. Let me share my screen here really quick.
That's cool and all, but shout out Jewish sharing for the $10. Doc smokes crack. I completely agree.
That's just not true. I don't smoke any form of crack. Speaking of donations, I think I got a donation earlier. Let me go ahead.
God, I'm completely fucking lost. I'm so lost. I have no idea what's going on in this past live stream. I'm sorry. I literally can't comment very much. I guess my understanding of the situation is Blair TV bad, and yeah, that's all I know. Apparently Blair TV is a big poopy head. That's my entire, I guess, knowledge base that I'm pulling from. So yeah. Anyways, boy, where do I even go from here? I genuinely have no idea. I mean, I could keep streaming. Anyways, where was I going? Oh, I guess I could call Piegirl again, and we could talk about the, debate. Welcome back. Yes, indeed. Here, I'm gonna call Piegirl. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So what did you... I have mixed feelings on the debate I just did. I feel like I could have done better, but that just might be my bias against myself. I don't know if I did good or not. I feel like I could have made
I think
better
you
points.
did pretty well. I guess maybe you could have gotten slightly more aggressive, but then again, he seemed like eventually he just wanted to leave because I think he just kind of didn't know
Yeah.
what points himself to make. Because I think he sort of realizes that he's but again he's so defensive, he just doesn't want to really accept that. So I don't know if there's much he could even do.
Yeah, I didn't, because that was the thing, is I'm not trying to come at him in bad faith and yell at him, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's my old rhetorical strategy, right? I feel like it's not really that effective. So I was trying to be good faith throughout the entire thing while still holding him accountable for anything he says. I mean, I already sort of explained the dilemma of it's I don't want to go in circles, but at the same time he'll accept the premise, but then later on it's he almost goes against his own acceptance of whatever premise it is. So then it's I have to remind him, and he's like, oh yeah, and then goes on a tangent about something else entirely, and it's oh god, why do you have to be like this? Yeah. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. What are there any points that I should have made that I didn't?
No, I think you generally made good points.
Okay, well that's good news. Yeah, I guess we only got to the first proposition.
Yes. Yeah, but I think it just I guess there's not really anything he could really say to defend himself, so I guess he sort of just got stuck.
Yeah, he kind of got stuck, and I don't know if it's because under normal circumstances he would get stuck, or if it's because he had a little bit of to drink beforehand, because he did mention that, and I'm okay, well I just got my fucking Adderall back, so I might be a little bit of a crackhead. What I was worried about, and this kind of is what happened a little bit, is that Adderall aspect of it, was that I would say a lot of words and he wouldn't be able to follow along because my brain would be processing stuff faster than usual and his would be processing stuff slower than usual. And I guess that is kind of what happened. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Good the arguments I make are, like, if they're too hard for, like, the average person to follow along, like, I feel like there's, like, hardly any point in doing that. Like, unless you're debating somebody like Synth or somebody like that that's like that like actually does debate, like there's not really a point to that. Like, it just confuses people and then nobody really knows. And then you just talk past each other.
I kind of get that because like I'm not really the best debater.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that in like the first part of the debate, I probably did need to be more aggressive. But then I did get a little bit more aggressive, or like I guess assertive would be the word I would use. So I feel like I sort of matched his energy a little bit. I don't know. I mean, if you were in a debate with him, what would you have said, out of curiosity?
Well, I guess I would have just pressed him on that, like, if he does or doesn't believe I'm a pedophile. If he doesn't believe it, then like he's just spreading false pedophile allegations.
Yeah. So that's like kind of
It's
similar
like, I
to
don't
what
know.
I pressed him on.
Yeah,
It's
sort
like,
of to what you did.
It's like I feel like he was like trying to avoid that as well. It's like, well, that was like something I kind of sort of insinuated, but like not really. I mean, it wasn't like the main thing. And it's like, okay, it was really, I don't know. It's like weird to debate against that because it's like he's like trying really hard to like not take a position while also taking a position. Because obviously, if he doesn't have a position, then it's like, oh, that's difficult to attack. But no, it didn't really work in his favor, I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I guess I don't know if I have like much to say because I think you did well in the debate.
fair enough.
Went well.
Fair enough. I think I might just be like overly like harsh on myself. Like I'm guessing, and this happens every single time I do a debate, is like right after the debate, I'm like, oh, I don't think I did so well. But then I'll watch the debate and I'll be like, actually, I made some really good points. Like the only time I feel like my debate skills were satisfactory is if I literally get the other person to concede. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I did well because they literally conceded. So that's why, like, right after the Spinnling debate,
Well, I
I'm
guess
like,
it depends on. Yeah, I guess it depends on what your intentions are. Whether you're trying to convince that person, or whether you're trying to convince the audience.
That's true. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I swayed anybody in his audience. I have no idea. I hope I did. I hope I swayed at least one person. But I mean, if I sway the opponent though, like that's going to sway a much larger proportion of their audience too, though. So then it's like, oh, well, I actually agree with Femyoz as like this creator, and it's like, oh, I guess there's no reason for me to defend their position that they don't actually like believe themselves anymore, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the way I see it. It's like, I feel like if I don't get the person to concede in a good faith discussion, it's like, oh, I did something wrong. I done goofed. I doofed it up again because I didn't literally get them to concede. Apparently, I'm destiny pilled. I feel like I'm like,
I don't even think your style is like Destiny.
no, but I do understand where the comparison comes from. I feel like I'm like, okay, if Destiny was trans and further left, I feel like I would understand the comparison better, right? Because it's like,
I think a lot of people in commentary are just like if they see a debate person, they think,
debate person, they
like,
think it's
every
Destiny.
every
yeah.
debate person is Destiny.
Yeah. I will say that in terms of like my rhetorical strategy / like the way I approach things, I guess you could say that I'm more similar to Destiny than like Vosh, for instance, even though I have more similar positions to Vosh. Like in terms of like my actual, like I feel like Destiny is more known for like doing research streams and doing have like not being willing to like jump to conclusions. Like that's something that I have in common with Destiny is like sometimes I just can't make up my fucking mind because there's not enough evidence. Like Destiny is known for like saying I need more evidence, whereas like Vosh is like the ultimate concluder. He's like, yeah, this is exactly what happened. Here's how this is. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's
Yeah, no,
interesting.
I get it. I mean, I watch Destiny, so
Yeah, I watch more Vosh than Destiny though. That's the thing. So like it's interesting that like I have like an approach that's like like I feel like I just have my own approach is all.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, I watch
like-
both of them. I try to watch, I guess, like people from all different political opinions to
Yeah,
try to like
same.
not one source.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely like 100,000,000% the same way. Like I don't from there. I feel like that's what I don't know. Like I don't know. I mean, there's some people I just can't watch because they're insufferable. Like I will not watch Hasan. I'm sorry. I fucking hate him. He's insufferable. He just annoys the shit out of me. I tried to start watching him just so I get like an alternative perspective, but it's like he's just so insufferable, you know? Like I just don't want to watch his shit.
I watch him too, but you can't take him too seriously. Like I don't like Hassan, but like I just watch it anyway just to get his perspective, I guess. It's just like
Yeah,
whatever
I-
like
yeah.
the stupid lefty Twitter take is, that's just what he has. He just goes to whatever's the most like insufferable Twitter take.
Yeah, literally. I mean, he just yeah, it's like he's basically just a fucking tanky now. It's like really sad. I don't like that he's a tanky. That's the issue I have.
Yeah.
It's like he'll I don't even think he calls himself a tanky, but it's like if you have every tanky position, it's like you're fucking tanky. It's like when Nazis refuse to call themselves Nazis, but it's like they have every Nazi position. They believe in some grand conspiracy from the Jewish cabal that it's like I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wish that I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's weird how some of this shit works in terms of like, you know, how do people analyze this stuff? How do people come to these conclusions? And it's like sometimes it's weird how it works. There's some people that are like way better. At least I think they're way better than me at debate. But it's like, it's like I don't know. Like they have like an entirely different approach from me at this point. Like I don't know how to explain it other than that. Anyways, apparently Food Shops is gonna debate Lord Pasta. That's interesting. I don't know if you know who either of those people are.
I don't know who either of them are.
Well, they're gonna have a trans medicalist debate apparently.
Interesting.
I'm guessing that Lord Pasta is gonna argue against trans medicalism.
The equivalent of adult.
Hold on. 11 Eastern is when I don't know what Eastern time is. I forgot. Let's see here. Is she in a VC with Lord Pasta? I don't think so. Nah. Nah, Lord Pasta's just in her chat. Okay, anyways. Where was I going with? Sorry, I'm
that's
ADD
fine.
brained. I'm very ADD brained. She's a trans med. I didn't think she was, but maybe she is. I don't know. Or maybe she has like a trans med position or something. I don't know. I thought Food Shops wasn't trans med. She didn't come across. I know Lord Pasta isn't. Like, he's definitely not trans med. I just didn't think of Food Shops as like a trans med person, but oh well, I guess. Damn. I feel like I'm more chill in my live streams nowadays. Like, I used to be like super loud, and now I just like I talk like this. It's like, yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
talking-
honestly,
I'm-
before like I watched these streams and stuff, I like didn't really know what to think of you because I've like some people I knew who were friends with you, and then other people were like, oh yeah, Femyoz is like a crazy person. So I was like, I didn't really
Crazy
know what to
person.
expect, but yeah,
I did used to act like a crazy person. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. It's it'd be like that sometimes.
Mm.
You know, sometimes I am a little bit of a crazy person, you know. Yeah, I think that it's also going to depend on whether or not we're talking about the era of my channel when I was off my antidepressants. So there's also that. It's like, okay, yeah, that might have had some sort of impact on the way that people perceived me. You know, it's just like that, I guess. It's just like that. I don't know. Like, goddamn. Anyways. Oh god,
Yeah.
Lanza uploaded a new video on Nattie Forsyth. Oh dear. It's 15 minutes long. Do you want
the
to
whole thing is certainly something.
do you want to watch it?
I don't know. I think I have to go pretty soon. I need some
All right,
lunch.
bet.
But it was nice talking with you.
All right, bet. Have a good one. Enjoy your lunch.
You too. Enjoy the rest of your live stream and see your chat as well.
All right. Have a good
Okay,
one.
see ya.
All right. That was a nice talk. Anyways. Let's see here. So, apparently, Lanza uploaded a video titled The Nattie Forsyth / Natherix Files 1 year later from 5 hours ago as of recording this. It's 15 minutes and 6 seconds long. So let's see what this is all about. Oh boy.
Year since my last video on Nattie Forsyth, and to nobody's surprise, some more stuff would come out about them in expected but still disappointing fashion. It turns out that this person's degeneracy runs far deeper than we thought, and when putting the pieces together one more time, I can't help but feel some sort of mixture of shock and rage and a whole bunch of other emotions all at once. Shout out to the channel members like always, and if you'd like to support yourself, you can check out my Patreon in the corner or YouTube memberships by clicking the join button. Now with that out of the way, let's get right into everything and see what's gone down since a year from today.
I'm so excited. I hope I'm in the video because I was pretty relevant to the drama. So I wonder if he's gonna talk about me. I sure hope he does. That would fuel my ego, make me feel like I'm relevant again. I hope Nattie is okay. Yeah, same. I don't know. I mean, she did do some shitty stuff behind the scenes. We're not gonna get into that. Ultimately, the bridge between Nattie and Jalen was burned. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really talk to Nattie anymore. It seems like she left the internet.
Right after I released my video, Nat will catch wind of it and drop a comment saying that there's nothing solid to the story, that they'd be exploring their options, and that they'd be dropping their own response video saying that mine is a joke.
Yeah, so in terms of the actual video that Lanza had made, yeah, I think that there was insufficient evidence to demonstrate the claims that were being made.
They would continue to play up this sarcastic and mocking tone on their community tab page by promoting my video on it and kind of just ranting about, but it was clear that they were upset that the situation was being brought up again.
I mean, to be fair, I could understand why somebody is upset over being labeled as a predator. Seems like something reasonable to get upset over. Like, it's not like out of the ordinary. Like, I think anybody would get upset over that.
I also somehow missed a vital piece of evidence showing them advocating for the destigmatization of pedophilia.
Okay, first of all, what was that? What was your pronunciation of destigmatization? Let's replay that. I'm sorry.
Somehow missed a vital piece of evidence showing them advocating for the destigmatization of pedophilia.
Destigmatization? Really? Come on. Also, in case you're not aware of what her actual argument was, she was literally just talking about like non-offending PDF files in terms of like you know, if they go and get therapy instead of acting on their retraction, that doesn't necessarily make them bad people, which I don't even disagree with. Like, I think that's like a fair argument. Like, that's not like destigmatizing PDF files. It's literally just saying that, oh yeah, if somebody like has this attraction, but then they don't act on it and seek therapy instead, like they shouldn't be villainized. Like, that's literally her position. So this is like a really bad faith interpretation of what she actually argued.
Which was extremely concerning to see given their past actions online. So here's a short clip.
But which past actions? Again, according to the evidence that was publicly available, there was not sufficient evidence to conclude that Nattie Forsyth is like an actual PDF file, right? And what she said in this video, even though it was terrible optics, was objectively true, right? Like, she's specifically talking about non-offenders, where the main point is that research shows that if they are comfortable getting therapy, right, that will decrease the amount of child abuse, right? Like, this is something that's like that's literally backed by research and statistics, right? So it's I don't know, it just seems dishonest to frame it this way.
From that for the sake of it.
So this video might be a bit controversial, it might have me lose some subscribers, but I don't really care because as long as it gets through to at least one person, then that's a good impact on the world in my opinion. Well, not even in my opinion, like, it is objectively correct.
They'd also reply showing that they don't understand that they're the last person to be talking about this subject matter and try to twist the point I was making.
Okay, but the fact of the matter is it's not relevant. Who makes the point? Like, who makes the point is not relevant to the validity of the argument, right? Like, I don't think that I think it's, like, I think that Nattie is correct here, right? Like, if you're advocating for something that has been statistically proven to decrease child abuse on the basis of it literally decreasing child abuse, I don't see an issue with that. Like, yeah, has Nattie said and done some cringe shit in the past? Yeah, absolutely. I guess you could say that some of her behavior in the past is concerning. But I don't think that this video, in which she has a position based on empirical like empirical data, right? I don't think that's like I don't think that's something that should be used as evidence against her, right? Like, if she has like the correct position, like, I don't think that's like an argument against her.
Which was none too surprising given their past of twisting people's words and playing semantical arguments to weasel their way out of things.
No, it's literally the opposite. That's what people were doing to her, right? Like, people were not understanding the actual position that she was holding and arguing for, right? Like, she's literally just talking about non-offenders, people that don't do anything with children, that just seek therapy instead of acting on their attraction, right? Like, I think that if that's something that's been statistically proven to decrease child abuse, which it is, like, I don't think that there's any harm in that, right? Like, she's advocating for something that minimizes harm. Like, that's a good thing, right? Even if she's not like the best person to be saying it, like, it doesn't matter.
They would even go on to try and imply that I'm being bad-faced because I used old footage back before they shaved their facial hair and say I lied about the age differences.
So I think that the using old photos thing, I think that's like a little bit of like a petty disagreement that I don't give a shit about. But yeah, I mean, I could understand why Nattie would be upset about that. 'Cause she is trans, so it's like, yeah, okay. fair enough. That probably just gave her dysphoria. Yeah, I don't know.
Try to say that people attacked them in real life over this in the past, when in reality it was just thinly veiled attempts to seem like a victim without any evidence to boot. Nat will go.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really comment on that. I don't know if she's been attacked in real life or not. I mean, if what she says is true, then she did. But,
I'm gonna post a poll on her channel deciding if they should go ahead and make the response video or not, depending what their subscribers said. And go on Twitter to say that I was slandering them, trying to imply what I talked about is just belief despite the hard evidence throughout. And again,
the hard evidence of what? Like, calling somebody a predator requires harder evidence than what was provided, right? Like, again, it's been a while since I talked about the Nattie stuff, but...
Again, try to say they were attacked over this situation in real life. They would continue to rage on Twitter and say that I beat my girlfriend and continue to try and downplay both my video...
No, she wasn't actually trying to argue that he's beat his girlfriend. Like, the argument she was making was like she was just arguing how absurd it is to go off of such little evidence, like based on like hearing something or being told something, right? So here she tweets, is it true that Lanza beat the fuck out of his girlfriend and gave her a black eye just because she made a joke about him being a furry? Just what I heard. Like the point, like she's not actually trying to say that Lanza did this. She's literally just saying that, yeah, you can say anything. That doesn't automatically make it true. Now, whether or not this is a good comparison is a completely different argument, right? But it's going to be the case that, like, yeah, like that's the argument she's making. She's not literally saying or trying to convince people genuinely that this is something that he's done, right?
The evidence seen throughout, and even post a screenshot of that on their YouTube community tab for good measure. I also noticed in a reply they tried to downplay the age gaps as just 1 or 2 years.
For which situation? Like, again, I think Nattie did some, like, really weird and creepy shit, but again, that's, like, not enough for me to call her a pedophile, right?
Showing how far they were willing to lie and change the story to fit a false narrative they were trying to scheme up. There was one piece of evidence that I purposefully left out because I wanted to see how Nat would respond. This evidence takes place before the December 21st, 2021 response video in which Nat downplays the craze situation, saying that they asked for images from her semi-ironically. Again, on December 21st, 2021, Nat said they asked for images from Craze semi-ironically.
Okay, I don't think that the semi-irony thing is, like, the best argument. I think that, the fact of the matter is that, I think the Craze individual was, I think they were, like, 14, but she was in, like, an adult-only, group chat, or it was, like, a 16-plus group chat with Nattie. I think Nattie was, like, 17 or 18 at the time, so she believed that she was flirting with somebody that was at least 16, which, I mean, again, like, that's, like, the main argument. So I think it's, like, important to not leave that out.
I want you to keep that in mind.
Dumb f***ing, like, idea everyone had that I was at, like, ask her for nudes and shit. I'd even asked in voice notes,
Why is it so fucking loud? Jesus Christ.
like, come on, it will only take 1 second. Like, I was asking semi-ironically.
Well, on November 4th, 2021, a month before they made that video, YouTuber Grimsy will interview Nat after he ran across allegations himself, and in doing so, Nat would tell a very interesting story to him. Nat would chat with him and say that the DMs they sent to Craze were joke DMs at first, but then just a minute later, they would admit that it wasn't a joke and that they were interested in her the entire time.
Let me check the DMs. I don't know. I know I was interested in this person, which is why, like, I asked for nudes and stuff.
Okay, so it could be the case that, you could genuinely want nudes and then you frame it as a joke. I guess that would be like where the semi-irony comes from. Again, I guess that's not like the best argument from Nat, but like I understand what she's trying to say there. As for she was genuinely interested in this person who she perceived to be at least 16, I think. Again, it's been a while since I've covered this stuff, but again, this video is like a retrospective uploaded a year later, so.
So it wasn't a joke?
I don't think it's relevant as to whether or not it's a joke. I think what's relevant is whether or not Nattie knew the age of the person, which she didn't, right? Like, again, she was like 17 or 18. I genuinely don't remember it that well, but she was 17 or 18, and she didn't think to ask for the age of the person because it was like an adult group chat. So, yeah, like that was a fuck up on her end, but that doesn't make her a pedophile. It just makes her stupid.
Well, like, I was joking around a lot in the group chat, but I wasn't
The
trusting
Snapchat asking her for nudes was not a joke.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
This video was obviously posted a month before the aforementioned response video, in which now they said that they asked for images semi-ironically trying to pass it off as a joke.
Well, semi-ironically would mean that there's some truth behind it, right? So it's going to be the case that, yeah, she's genuinely interested, right? So that's why it'd be semi-ironically. Again, I don't like the wording that Nattie uses. Like, I think it makes her look retarded, but again, that's being retarded and being a pedophile are not the same thing, so.
When we now know that just a month before they admitted the messages to Craze weren't a joke at all, meaning that Nat was straight up lying to their audience's faces and their—
Right, but if the messages are like framed as a joke, right? Or like it's like a whatever. It's said in like a tongue-in-cheek kind of way. Like I understand like what she means when she says semi-ironically. I just think it's like a retarded way of framing the argument. Again, whether or not it's a joke is not even all that relevant, right? Like I don't think that whether or not it's semi-ironic or completely unironic even matters that much, right? Like I think that the much more important point is that she didn't know the age of the person, right? Which means that she was in the wrong, but at the same time, she wasn't necessarily a malicious actor. I think she's just retarded in that case, right? Like I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt there.
Their response video. There's also a part where Nat claimed that they never said people were setting them up in the Craze situation, but in a leaked DM they claimed exactly that to someone else investigating the story, which is another bold-faced lie coming from this person.
I'm not like, I personally disagree. I feel like you sent up shit, and now you're just trying to backtrack on it and say that they set you up. I think what probably happened...
I didn't even claim that. All I said was that was LTB's fairy.
Okay.
What I will say is that there is evidence like that I've seen behind the scenes. I'm not going to leak it just because I've been asked not to. This was leaked a while ago. It's stuff that made me reconsider my position on Nattie Forsyth in terms of like how I would want to interact with her. Do I think she's a good person? No, probably not. But based on the evidence that's publicly available, like I don't think it's fair to conclude that she's like a PDF file, or that there's even that much that you can conclude other than, oh, she's like kind of like a degen weirdo. I think that you have to keep in mind that like based on publicly available evidence, like a conclusion that I come to is going to be different based on whether or not I include privately available evidence that I've seen, right? So I just want to make that clear. Like, it's not that the bridge between Jalen and Nattie, and to some extent me and Nattie, like happened for no reason. It's just a lot of it is behind the scenes, and I'd rather keep it that way. But again, I think that there's something harmful about this, I guess, inability to analyze things for what they are in good faith. That's like a problem. Like even if Nattie Forsyth turns out to be not the best person, it's like still like based on the publicly available evidence, coming to certain conclusions, I think is wrong.
Hey, that's not true. I've seen your DMs, bro. It's not true. You said that you felt like you were set up.
They would then try to say that it was someone else's theory instead of what they just said themselves.
Hold on, whether or not something is a joke and whether or not somebody is set up, I mean, these things have nothing to do with each other.
But y'all are already aware of how slimy they are trying to get their way out of this situation, so there's no need to go any further. I kept this out of my original video because I was obviously expecting Nat to keep lying about the situation to everybody, and Nat would indeed put out their response around 2 weeks later. They even managed to get a defamation complaint through to YouTube and got my video blocked in the UK. That's how hard they were trying to go at silencing this. However, when trying to find Nat's channel today, it's entirely gone from the website like the channel never existed to begin with. I checked around to see if it was another channel name change, but nothing was coming up. And that's when I realized that something big must have happened. Well, let's take a look together and see what exactly is going on here, and let's just say what happened isn't exactly shocking to see.
Okay, so I do know about what happened behind the scenes. I'm not gonna get too much into it. I'm just curious as to like how much stuff got out there. Like I know I didn't say anything. I didn't get myself involved. So yeah, I wonder how accurate is this gonna be. Like as somebody that like knew about her quitting YouTube and deleting her channel way before this video has been released. This was months ago. I wonder how much stuff is gonna be gotten right versus wrong.
On September 8th, 2023, Nat will make a long-winded community tab post saying that they were leaving the internet for the sake of their mental health.
Okay, yes, I have seen that. I think I might have read it on stream when it was, when that was posted.
Going on a rant about how they try to beat their depression, but it keeps getting worse, alongside general statements of self-loathing. This came as a surprise because those that were keeping up with Nat saw that they were posting actively, not missing more than 3 or 4 days between each video on the channel. It would turn out that this was all because just a few days prior, someone found an old screenshot dating back to their Nathrix channel days where they and their girlfriend at the time, Hannah, were cuddling in a livestream sleeping stream together, in which—
Yeah, so this was like years ago when Nattie was doing all the other degen shit that I disavowed. I think Nattie was like 17 or 18 once again, like when this stream took place.
which Nat is seen wearing just their underwear and nothing more for their audience to see. Given that they're a Roblox YouTuber and Roblox YouTubers attract a young minor audience alongside their past, this had people up in arms and aiming their pitchforks at him once again.
Yeah, so, at first when I saw that, I thought that that was like a recent thing, and I was like, I'm burning the bridge after this. But then I learned, oh, okay, this is when she did all the other retarded shit. It's like, okay, whatever. So, ultimately, it's like, oh, okay, they found more old shit. Like, I guess the evidence that I was looking for at the time was, like, has she done anything recent that's, like, bad? Like, because that's, like, what determines whether show that she didn't learn from her behavior, because it was when she was doing the behavior.
On the very day of Nat's departure, a video will be uploaded of people interviewing them to understand the context behind the stream that happened back in the day. Nat would say that they didn't purposefully put themselves in that specific position and that they were generally just cuddling with their girlfriend, and someone would ask if they were aware that they knew kids were going to be watching the stream, in which
I think it's reasonable to assume that because Nattie's retarded and she's a fucking idiot that she wasn't even thinking about it. Again, that just is more of along the lines of like an example of her being like selfish or inconsiderate or whatever the fuck, right?
Nat says that they were aware, but that they were clothed so they didn't see an issue, as things devolved into a semantical discussion about whether clothed means wearing underwear or not.
But did you know that children were going to be watching the stream?
Yeah, and I didn't see a problem with being clothed. Like, even though I didn't have.
Yeah, and this is fucking retarded. This debate is fucking AIDS. I think what ended up happening is both Parlo and Nattie looked fucking stupid in this debate, and both of them made terrible fucking points.
Clothes, I had underwear, and it wasn't.
You said you were clothed, and then you said even if I didn't have clothes.
You said you were clothing. You said you didn't have clothes.
Because I think you're so clothed. Because I think you're so clothed if you're in underwear, but you just don't have like a shirt or pants on. Like you still aren't naked. That's what I view as being.
You would be half naked, right?
Clothed still.
They would continue to discuss semantics for pretty much the entire encounter, with the very end getting Nat to admit that they knew they were streaming to a minor audience in their underwear.
You did stream in your underwear to fans that were most likely almost entirely minors, right? Just to like fully confirm, you did.
Like I've already stated, I believe that Creekcraft would have more minor fans.
No, I know, but you.
So, it's either yes, it happened, like in the yes sense, or no, it didn't happen, like in the no sense. So that's what Nattie should have started with, and then she should have elaborated, right? Like, I don't think that she should be, like, fully defending herself here, because she was in the wrong for doing that stream, right? So it makes sense that people would assume that, oh, she hasn't learned from her behavior.
You did. Well, I mean, teen is still minors, right?
I've already said a few times that.
No, I know.
Like, yeah, there'll definitely be kids watching.
You confirm, right? You confirm that you streamed in your underwear to fans that were most likely under the age of 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah, at this point, like, I wasn't really defending Nattie. I had given up. I'm like, this is so fucking retarded. Like, she needs to stop.
I didn't leave their channel because of mental health issues. They left because people found another instance of them acting very strange on the internet.
Okay, but if people are like specifically targeting her based on old clips or whatever, like, and I'm not even saying this is like the best argument or whatever, but I think it could be the case that, like, yeah, if you're embroiled in more controversy, like, yeah, that's gonna affect your mental health, right? Like, to claim that like it's not because of mental health, because of something that could affect mental health, I think is like a misunderstanding of how human beings operate, right? So it's going to be the case that that this controversy could have been what led to her mental health spiraling, right? I think that that's entirely plausible.
Despite claiming that they left the internet, now it'll be seen in the comments of another YouTuber covering the situation in a live stream a day later on the 9th, in which they start to talk about how child abuse is lower in countries where lolly pictures are legal.
At this point, I had been telling her to leave the internet because she wasn't making herself look any better.
Despite everyone who knows their story knowing that they're the last person to be talking about this, Nat clearly still thinks they're the right person to debate this hot topic.
Again, I think that this is a fallacious argument. I don't think whether or not Nattie has like a controversial past is what dictates whether or not she's allowed to have like a debate over like an actual topic, right? Now, I don't think this is a good argument from Nattie. Here she's saying, I once was told in countries where lolly is legal, actual child abuse is down because they use it as an alternative that is less risky and also more convenient. I don't think it should be public at least. I don't know if I agree with that, but like, I guess that is a position that you could hold. Like, I don't think that that necessarily means that you're like an actual predator, right? Again, I don't know. I don't think that being told something is enough evidence to conclude that it's the case. Like, you'd need to show me some sort of like a statistical analysis of this, and have some sort of source to back this up, to make this argument. But again, this doesn't like prove that, oh yeah, she's actually this evil predator. The food shops argument, is it? I don't know. Does food shops show sources? I mean, if not, then yeah, I guess this would be on par.
They would even come back on September 13th stating that they're in a better state of mind now and plan on making a proper response video to everything that's going on, saying that they got desensitized to a whole bunch of bad stuff when they were growing up hanging around bad circles on the internet.
So this would be in reference to when she sent the dick in the sewing machine video when she was younger. I think she was like 18. Like, she had been like sending fucked up shit like gore just in general since she was like 13 because people had sent it to her, and she was basically groomed into believing that that behavior is okay. So I guess that's where that comes from.
Also stating that after their response video, they won't be continuing the channel due to believing they aren't responsible enough to do so, as opposed to...
She actually followed through with this, surprisingly, by, well, at least to an extent. We might or might not get into that.
Ends. The same day of that post, a former close friend of Nat's known Lolcow Jalen would actually talk with him in DMs about...
Oh god. This is, oh no, it's, oh god, this fucking group chat is so cursed. It's Lilith, Nattie, Forsyth, and Jalen. Jalen is the only good person in the VC. Lilith is fucking evil. Nattie Forsyth is just mentally ill and has done fucked up things behind the scenes. Yeah, oh god. This is so cursed.
How they said they were leaving, in which they argue about that with Nat baiting their own life as they leave the chat in defeat. The other member of the chat was Jalen's girlfriend at the time, which for those keeping up with the Jalen cycle on my channel actually tried to cheat on her with Nat over a year ago, adding even more juice to this story.
Oh, this is publicly available now? Okay, yeah, that was one of the reasons I stopped associating with Nat, was because of that. Once I learned about that, I was like, yeah, fuck you. Like, you don't do that. You don't do that shit to Jalen. I will never forgive Lanza for fucking up the hypnotist Sappho investigation for late epic dunks. Actual clout siphoning loser. Yeah, I feel like he just gets too much shit wrong. Especially considering how large his platform is. Like, he has like over 100,000 subs now, and he just gets shit wrong. The fact that nobody called him out is insane, true. I don't know too much about the hypnotist Sappho investigation. I just know that he got a lot of the Jalen stuff and a lot of the Nattie stuff wrong. Like, that was like one of the main reasons I even defended Nattie, even though it was like against my own self-best interest, is because like the arguments he was making and the evidence he was using was so dog shit. It's like, it doesn't even matter if Nattie's a good person or not. Like, she could be like Hitler and these would still be terrible arguments. So that's sort of where I came from, was like it was more of like a contrarian place at first, and then I became friends with Nattie, and then it's like, yeah, I'm cool with this person. You don't talk shit about my friends type of thing.
Funnily enough, it would come out right around this time that back on May 19th, 2023, Nat has set a suggestive image of themselves in Roblox YouTuber Parlo's Femboy Discord server, a server that contained minors and Nat knows contained minors as they were a mod in it.
This was in 2023 apparently. Assuming that there were minors in this server, yeah, this is like, again, an example of something where it's like, okay, I draw the line here. I'm assuming the screenshot is real at this point. I don't even care. And it's in the context of, yeah, there's minors in this server. Again, you would need to prove that there's minors in this server for me to like fully believe it, but I don't know, considering some stuff I've found out about Nattie behind the scenes. Like, I wouldn't be entirely surprised based on circumstantial evidence. He was in Sappho's private Discord to, quote, gather evidence, but all he did was join a VC and troll and cause her to lock everything down, making it harder to everyone who actually cares. That sounds like a certified Lanza moment. It's kind of cringe.
But that they continued their degeneracy even after my video made a lot of more people aware about it. On September 15th, Nat would be seen in one of their friends' live streams talking about some random stuff as a user would point out that they were in the chat. Now, normally I'd show you the screenshot of what they were saying, but when I came back to actually take it, I found out that just 2 days later on the 17th, Nat would straight up delete their channel off YouTube, ending their reign of terror once and for all.
Then why even bring it up? Like, I don't trust your anecdotal experience, right? Like, you're not a trustworthy source.
Leaked
Sorry.
DMs have shown Nat saying that they've given up on having an internet career after finding.
So here she says, I don't know why people act like just leaving the internet will even solve everything. Sorry, I don't, anything, not everything. First of all, it's, solidified online, and I can just be, looked up by anyone who knows my name. Secondly, everyone I know IRL is being spammed with videos about me and doxed. People really love to downplay what's happening. Some motherfucker tried to kidnap a child just because he spoke to me. This isn't me being terminally online. This is fucking insane, and it has been for years. I'm just nearing the breaking point. Interesting. I know for a fact this isn't my screenshot because it says yesterday at 21:53. Imagine having fucking military time. Cringe. Disgusting.
Finding out what they've done is easy to find online. Also saying that someone tried to kidnap a child after he spoke to them once in some sort of way to garner sympathy. They would then apologize.
I mean, they could be telling the truth about that. And then here they say, just wanted to apologize if I overshared my mental health and shit. I was told to speak to people about it, and also got asked by some people how I was doing and was just honest with people. I don't remember if you were someone who even asked too much about it, but I didn't want to bait if I was. Didn't know S-baiting could also just be talking about being suicidal. I shouldn't have put any of that onto anyone. I'm logging off now, but I also feel like I've ruined my life. I don't know if I'm over-exaggerating or not, though. It's just that my face is tied to it, and my online name is my actual name.
For baiting their own life and oversharing their mental health issues as they weren't aware of how it was affecting the person they were speaking to. Say that they won't do a planned interview as they believe that.
I don't think I'll be doing that interview because I'm told I'm just being lolcowed anyway. I don't think it'd help, but rather add to shit because some people are deranged, innocent people are getting targeted, etc. over mild association, literal attempted kidnappings, etc. They admitted to lying about the defending lolly in that person's stream chat, though. I appreciate the offer, though. I hope you do well, etc. Interesting. Innocent people getting targeted over mild association is true. Like, people were targeting me. Like, there was one instance where somebody almost doxed me over this shit. So, like, I'm not... So I do believe her when she says that. When she says a lot of the stuff she does. Because some people are deranged over this kind of shit, right? Like, people were targeting me for simply being online friends with her. And publicly associating with her. Like, it was pretty bad. Like, I'm not gonna downplay that.
They'll just be made fun of. Again, trying to say that people are attempting kidnappings in their name, and ends things off giving their well wishes to whoever they're speaking to.
I mean, considering the fact that people tried doxing me over Nattie Forsyth drama that I was, like, vaguely associated with in terms of, like, I defended her on one of my streams because I said that there wasn't sufficient evidence to prove that she's a predator. Like, yeah, I think that that's like it's not too far-fetched based on what I've seen. Nat ruined her life the day she became a Roblox YouTuber. Roblox drama YouTuber. This was destined to happen at some point. That's true. I mean, if you're a Roblox YouTuber, what do you expect, right?
Things would only get worse for Nat, as on September 30th, YouTuber Green Lego Castle uploaded a video going over some exclusive information they got a hold of, such as showing how Nat tried to change her alias to the name Relenf at one point in time a few years ago before getting caught.
Yeah, this video I specifically remember watching and being like, this is fucking nothing. It was like supposed to be some sort of like crazy new evidence, and I'm like, okay, let's look at this, and it turned out to be fucking nothing. I was disappointed.
However, the biggest piece of info is more underage allegations, this time involving them talking some type of way with another currently anonymous 14-year-old when they were 18 themselves way back during.
Again, like, I don't... How do we even know that these screenshots are real? I have seen faked screenshots of Nattie from the time period that these were released that were, like, clearly faked. So I don't know if these would be one of those. Hell, there were people that faked screenshots of me. I'm not even kidding. And it was like, it was so fucking obvious though that like, that even people that hated me were like, why are you spreading blatantly fake screenshots? So I don't know. People do fake screenshots in this community generally. Like that is something that's like not implausible or unlikely even. Like I'm still like 14 mentally though. Like what's up with all these people turning 18? Yes, I'm months away. Like even if these were real, what does this prove? Like, okay, Nattie's just calling herself retarded. It's only after this message on 7/2/2018, 12:45. I'm months away from turning 15. How old was Nattie when this was sent?
In the Nathrix days, Nat would send a multitude of inappropriate messages about the 14-year-old.
Wasn't was Nattie like 17 or 18 in 2018? I think she was 17, right? Also, saying that somebody has genital herpes with their name blocked out, like we don't know who this is about or if this is about a minor, so this isn't sufficient.
In question involving adult acting and other things, them trying to pressure the girl into face revealing despite her clearly.
Again, we don't know who this is. Face reveal. I saw your face for half a second. Again, we don't even know who this is. Like what? I mean, these are cringe. Assuming they're real even. Like, I don't...
Really not wanting to, even saying she sounded like a lolly as well, and then showing discontent after she declined.
Again, we don't know who this person is or if they're actually underage. Like, I'm not just gonna take your word for it.
Trying to send nude images to them. They would continue to push these disgusting interactions by.
Again, you have to demonstrate that these are being sent to a minor. Having these out of context screenshots of, admittedly, her being extremely cringe. When she's like, what, 17, 18-ish? Like, you need to demonstrate that these were sent to a minor. If you can't, then there's no fucking point, right?
Shipping her with another member in the server and saying some more gross things. If there were any Nat defenders left on the internet, they were all but gone when watching this video. Green Lego Cats are going to tell a story about how Nat was pressuring a girl into doing ASMR in a Discord call together one day in the server. With the girl trying.
Again, we don't know who this is. This isn't evidence. Like, these are just random screenshots. We don't know if these are even real. And if they are real, we don't know if the person that Nattie is talking to in these is actually underage. There's no evidence to suggest that she is. Again, something I pride myself on is being able to look at stuff for what it is and say, okay, yeah, you say that this person is underage, but do you show it? Do you show evidence that this is the case? Because having somebody's name and being a red rectangle doesn't do it. That doesn't cut it. Just saying that this person right here is a minor, that's not enough.
And avoid it as much as they could, with Nat even offering to pay her to do it in desperation to hear her voice. They would show that Nat indeed joined the call after pressuring her into doing ASMR.
Okay. So she joined and she left and joined a VC. Wow, incredible evidence.
Alleges that when the girl was doing it, Nat moaned during the call while others heard it. He says that he heard the audio before, but it has since been lost to time, so he can't. Yeah,
so if you can't find the audio, then you can't assert that it's real. I heard the clip many, many times, and I strongly believe Nat was legitimately pleasuring himself to this ASMR of someone he knew was 14. Show me evidence. Wow, oh, it's oh so conveniently fucking deleted. Wow, incredible that the most incriminating piece of evidence just magically disappeared. As if it didn't even fucking exist in the first place. This is what I mean when I say that, like, regardless of whether or not Nattie is a good person, I don't think she is, okay? I'm gonna be real. But regardless of that fact, of whether or not she's a good person or not, like, this isn't a good standard of evidence to have. I don't care if she's a good person or not. If you're using evidence that could easily be faked for something as serious as this,
100% prove it.
I'm sorry, but like the most crucial piece of evidence just magically gets deleted, but all the screenshots stick around. Really? Accusations are evidence. Femyoz Mama Max said so. Yeah, that's true. I think that Lanza, Mama Max, and Flamenco must have all gone to the same law school. Clearly. They all went to the same law school together. I think they were actually in the same class with the same professor. I mean, they had to have been, right? I mean, they believe that accusations are evidence.
Gives people his word that it indeed sounded like Nat.
Oh, yeah, because his word is worth so fucking much. Yeah, it sounded like Nat. I'm not going to play the recording of the thing that sounded like Nat, and it doesn't actually exist anymore, but I heard the recording, I swear, and it sounded like Nat, so it definitely is. Yeah, okay.
I have heard the clip many, many times, and I strongly believe Nat was legitimately pleasuring himself to this ASMR of someone he knew was 14.
Nat would then leave the server just 8 days after the incident.
Again, we have no evidence that this audio even fucking exists. Oh my god.
And the people who were there were going to make reference to it in passing whenever their name.
Okay, oh wow, deleted user said so themselves. Wow, my favorite source of information. She was doing ASMR and calling Nathrix senpai and all this stuff because he requested for it, and out of nowhere he just, oh, it must have happened. Deleted user themselves said so. Wow, incredible. My favorite source of information, deleted user. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Incredible. Not to mention that this doesn't demonstrate that the person, even if this was real, we have no evidence to suggest that the person in question was a minor.
Was brought up. Now, despite all that we've seen about Nat, their story doesn't end here, as a brand new Roblox YouTube channel named Bloxatron would appear in late September 2023 soon after.
Okay, so this is known about. I wasn't sure if this was something that people that was like just.
The channel was text-to-speech so nobody could hear their real voice, and the topics they covered were Roblox drama videos in similar vein to Nat's content before they left. People get suspicious as despite looking to be a brand new face to the internet, they were already trying to defend Nat in the replies to a random Twitter user talking about him. It got even more.
Femyoz, you could have beat the diaper fetish allegations if only you had deleted user 1173 to testify in your favor. Shit, I should have taken screenshots of deleted user 1173. I would have beaten the allegations.
Suspicious as a leaked DM would show that Nat just a few weeks earlier was talking with someone about starting a new channel without the
yeah, okay.
Nattie Force's name attached to it. Saying Jalen said the same thing already, but that it would be hard and people would probably find him out sooner than later. It got even more suspicious as they would get into the everlasting lolly debate with someone, given—
oh god, this is fucking AIDS. Like, the two most cancerous debates in any debate brosphere are the fucking lolicon debate and the fucking incest debate. I fucking hate both of them. They're so fucking cancer.
Now talking points that were very similar to what Nat has said in the past. This will culminate in a video Bloxatron posted on the channel about the situation, which isn't really much again given its text-to-speech. However—
yeah, this is like, yeah, I just don't care about this. This is stuff that I learned about a while ago. Yeah, okay.
Failing on literally every front, it took an old sleeping livestream from years ago to be the final nail in the coffin, with Green Lego Cat's video adding some extra dirt on top of the grave as it filled up.
Dude, Green Lego Cat's video was fucking dog shit, I'm sorry.
Well, there's been rumors of Nattie popping up on 2 occasions so far. It seems that they've indeed left the internet now that their entire degenerate history has been exposed for everyone to see. I honestly didn't think it would
no, it really hasn't, alright? Like, there's like behind the scenes stuff that's like actually kind of bad. doesn't mean that, like, doesn't mean much, though. It just means that, oh, yeah, that the evidence that's publicly available fucking sucks. Wow. You know what I love, though? Is that this video is uploaded right after the Mama Max video. I watched this video. I watched it. It's about Mama Max not having enough evidence. I specifically found it interesting that Lanza, of all people, was the person talking about it. Incredible. The fact that she doesn't even understand the irony is incredible. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's stream, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to let me know by leaving a like. Okay, smash like if you enjoyed this. Yeah, I will see you all in the next the next one. Probably, I'll bet. That is right, everybody. Oh my goodness gracious, that is crazy. Wow. Anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.